SportsCenter is brought to you by Mako. There are scratches, dents, and unexpected natural events. If life throws you uh-ohs, just say better get Mako and go to Mako.com to get an online estimate today.
It was an eventful week around the Packers.
Not the highest paid player by a little, by a wide margin. He doesn't want to just be at the top by a few million. It's got to be significant.
General Manager Brian Gutekunst tells us that he doesn't want to trade Aaron Rodgers, and that if Rodgers plays in 2022, he wants it to be here.
I would start with his legacy. You play at Lambeau Field, but guess what? That's going to be located at Rogers Boulevard, and we're going to do everything within reason and then some for you to retire, and retire as an all-time great.
Keyshawn J. Willimax, ESPN Radio, and ESPN NFL Insider. Dan Graziano joins the show. You know how sometimes he's ready, sometimes he's not. Guys, we have to make sure. Dan, are you ready?
I am always ready.
How's the combine?
Regardless of what you've heard.
How's the combine treating you, Dan?
You know, it's bizarre, man. It's like nothing ever happened. Like there's everybody's out. Like there's no masks on. Like people are crowded into the restaurants and stuff. I mean, like it's weird. Like I don't know. This was the last place everything was normal before the world shut down 2 years ago. So I guess it's fitting that we're picking back up.
That's great. State of the Union. No one had masks on. Maybe we're really coming out of this thing.
Yeah, hope so.
Significance in LaFleur saying Rodgers was a big influence in the Packers hiring Tom Clements. What was the significance there, Dan?
I mean, we're trying to get Aaron to come back.
Statement, Dan.
Why hasn't? Why hasn't Rodgers, do you think, decided on his future yet? What's going on?
I mean, because he's a pain in the butt. Like I don't know. Like he's a mercurial sort of fellow. Like what did Mark Murphy call him? A complicated fellow. I think that's certainly borne itself out. And I mean, he's got time. He's taking time, and you know, in the meantime, the Packers are operating. You know, they're doing stuff they have to do in terms of shedding cap space and all that kind of stuff, but or creating cap space. But you know, they want him back, and they have a plan for if he comes back and a plan for if he doesn't. And so far, nobody's missed a deadline.
Yeah, but when do you think? I know it's the hardest question going, though, Dan. But when do you think he makes this decision? Because a couple weeks ago, he said he didn't want to hold them up from doing their off-season business, but it certainly seems like he's holding them up.
Well, yeah, but I mean, he's not. Like I said, they've been able to do their restructures and stuff that they need to do. And, you know, the next big date is next Tuesday, the 8th, when that's the last day they can franchise Devontae Adams, which I expect they will, unless they come to agreement on a long-term deal between now and then, which doesn't seem likely. And then after that, it's the 16th, which is the start of the league year. That's when they have to be under the cap. And to get under the cap, no matter what else they do, they're going to have to restructure Aaron's contract or extend it. You know, he's got a $46 million cap hit, and that's not going to work for anybody. So that's the date. I mean, if it's not done by March 16th, then he really is messing with them.
Yeah, so you talk about another quarterback, though, in Jimmy Garoppolo. What's the story with him? Is he getting traded? Is he staying? Is he going? Or are we going to talk about him for another 6 months?
Look, I mean, the plan is that he's going. I mean, they want to trade him, and they thought that they would do it easily. But then this surgery he's got to have on his throwing shoulder is going to complicate that, honestly. Like, it's just going to set back the plan. And after he has the surgery, which he's supposed to have in the next week, he's not going to be able to throw for 4 months. And so, you know, that puts you in late June, early July. If you're trading for him, you know, you're not going to see him till training camp in terms of being on the field. So it may affect how much they can get for him. It may affect the number of teams that are interested. So they're going to move ahead with their plan, but it's not going to be as easy for the 49ers, and they may end up having to wait until the summertime to deal him.
Dan, if that trade does go down, what do you think is the most likely landing spot for Jimmy G?
I mean, look, Washington makes a lot of sense. Here in Indianapolis makes some sense. You know, it really just comes down to who thinks that who thinks that they have a roster good enough that, you know, I don't want to. I mean, like I say, prop him up. He's not a bad player, but he's not a quarterback you win because of. He's a quarterback you can win with. So, you know, I think it's got to be a team that has a strong roster and and feels like they're a quarterback away from being a real contender, and there are a lot of teams out there like that. Pittsburgh feels that way. The Saints feel that way. So, yeah, I think it's pretty hard to handicap, especially in light of the news about the surgery the last couple of days.
Given that line of analysis, which I agree with, Dan, it would seem that the closer a team is to being really, really good and all they need is a quarterback, the more they'd want Garoppolo. The farther away, it seems to me, the more you'd want a guy who's a little more dynamic, like, say, Russell Wilson. When you survey the landscape, who do you think is closest? In other words, who doesn't need quite as much at quarterback, and therefore Jimmy G would make the most sense?
Well, I mean, I think the Colts, I think they're a team that feels like they're, it would be their fifth different starting quarterback in 5 years. I'm not sure how much they would consider Garoppolo an upgrade over Carson Wentz. Maybe it's a little more reliable, but
make better decisions under pressure, obviously.
Yeah, ideally, yeah. Well, right. He didn't throw left-handed out of the end zone and all that kind of stuff. Sure,
that's a good
idea. I think that's the team that first jumped to mind, and Washington again feels like they have a strong defense and a real number one receiver, and they could be a contender in their division if they added a guy like that. So those are the kinds of teams you're looking at.
Dan Graziano joining us from Indianapolis Combine this morning on Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. Dan, you're running around the Combine collecting all sorts of juicy, gossipy information to deliver to us. Tell us what the Eagles are thinking about with Jalen Hurts. They got 3 picks in the first round.
Yeah.
What are they? Are you hearing any whispers about, oh, well, we might take a look at this instead of Jalen Hurts, or take a look at that?
Yeah, I mean, publicly they've come out very strongly backing Jalen Hurts, and they did it again yesterday, both coach and GM. I mean, look, I know they've poked around. You have 3 first-round picks. You owe it to yourself to find out what's out there. And I think, if Russell Wilson were to become available and signal that that's a place he wanted to go, then I think they could get interested in that, right? I think if the Deshaun Watson situation were to clear up and he were to signal that that's a place he wanted to go, I think they could get interested in that. But I don't know that they're interested in moving off of Jalen Hurts for, one of the lesser, or less high-end options. I think those 2 guys, and I guess throw Rodgers in there if he becomes available, are guys that would pique their interest. But I don't think they're out there going, oh, we got to upgrade from Jalen Hurts at all costs. Like, I wouldn't expect them to try and to go off of Jalen Hurts for, Garoppolo or Jameis Winston. You could like those guys better if you want, but I don't think, by enough to justify that. I think they've seen enough from Hurts to think that they can build on it, and he's got a lot of talent, and they can win with him.
That's Dan Graziano, ladies and gentlemen, who was born ready. Thank you, Dan.
All right, DG.
My pleasure.
Coming up, will Kyler Murray demand a trade this offseason? We'll talk about that next, but first, Jay has this from Straight Talk.
Cutting the price of your wireless bill feels good, doesn't it, Key? I mean, really good, Max. Actually, it feels great. You should try it. So cut your bill by switching to Straight Talk Wireless, now offering our $45 Silver Unlimited plan with 5 gigabytes of hotspot and nationwide 5G on America's largest, most dependable networks. The $45 Silver Unlimited plan from Straight Talk. Straight Talk Wireless, no contract, no compromise. A month equals 30 days. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com. 5G capable device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary.
It's Greeny, and we are busy looking at the NBA stretch run. So much left to be decided, and what might be the most competitive postseason of all time take shape. We'll talk about it. It's Greeny, starting 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio and ESPN+.
This is Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max.
Progressive Snapshot can save you money based on how you drive and how much you drive. So the safer you drive, the more money you could save. Now, if you didn't hear that because you were laying on the horn while driving, let me say it again. Are you a race car driver? Because if you are, you're in the wrong car and you took a wrong turn off the track a while ago. And all those cars you're trying to pass all save money with Progressive Snapshot, while you probably don't. So who's really winning? And if you did hear it the first time, nice work. You'd love Snapshot from Progressive because it rewards safe drivers. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Snapshot not available in California and North Carolina or from all agents.
I need 4 more of the biscuit carnitas, 2 burnt end platters, 3...
The kitchen at Kai's Barbecue is firing on all cylinders.
Greg, help me bring these to the pickup counter.
He needs food runners who can hit the ground quickly.
86 on the chicken and we're short-staffed. Let's pick it up.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
It's here. The 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida app version 2.0. Now featuring ultra high fidelity. You'll feel like you're in the game. Plus, more opportunities to win weekly prizes from local businesses when you click it to win it. Download the 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida app today at Google Play or the Apple Store.
Los Rancheros has been doing it right for 20 years. Los Rancheros brings a top-shelf dining experience to you with the opening of their beautiful new building. Watch all college and pro games on Los Rancheros' 14 large-screen TVs with great drink specials daily from 2 to 5 and during all the games. Los Rancheros, the place for live sports and great food on 23rd Street between Jenks and Harrison.
Hi, I'm Bobby Likas with today's Car Clinic Minute. Let's see, 8 a.m. business meeting, 3 o'clock dentist appointment, and 5:30 traffic jam. 5:30 traffic jam? Have a better way in mind to spend that time? When I come back, I'll tell you how to steer clear.
The Car Clinic Minute.
It's Bobby Likas Car Clinic, brought to you locally by Hewitt Tire and Auto.
Call 850-769-7323.
Your certified AAA service center and hometown towing.
Visit them online at HewittTire.com.
On Airport Road in Panama City.
That's 850-769-7323. Hewitt Tire and Auto Center and hometown towing.
To foretell traffic jams, you could use tea leaves, fortune tellers, crystal balls, or technology. Engineers from Siemens Automotive in Michigan have designed a state-of-the-art traveler information system called Quick Scout. This electronic genie uses cellular communications to access real-time information about traffic conditions along specific routes. The system also provides internet access so your passengers can check stocks or send emails en route. Thanks to American ingenuity, now there's a better use for your tea leaves and your time. I'm Bobby Likas. Like us, you'll love us.
Tiger Talk has been your connection to Auburn coaches for over 30 years. Tune in Thursday nights during basketball season as head coach Bruce Pearl breaks down the next matchup and takes questions from fans. Tweet questions anytime at AU Sports Network or email aubtigertalk@gmail.com. Tiger Talk presented by Alpha Insurance on your home for the Auburn Sports Network.
Tonight at 6 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
The thought of my sons growing up without me inspired me to quit smoking.
I talked to my doctors, and then I threw away all my cigarettes, ashtrays, and lighters.
I started exercising instead of smoking.
Getting support from friends online kept me on track.
Staying away from alcohol when I was first quitting was key.
Instead of smoking after I ate, I'd get up and take a walk.
I missed having a cigarette in my hand, so I'd hold a pen or a straw, anything.
Until I knew I wouldn't give in to temptation, I spent more time with my friends who didn't smoke.
I went to places that were smoke-free.
I didn't stay quit the very first time I tried.
I kept on trying, and I learned something each time.
Do whatever it takes.
No matter how many times it takes.
I quit.
I quit.
I quit.
We did it, so can you.
You can quit. For free help, call 1-800-QUIT-NOW. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and CDC.
The next evolution in sports talk radio. The Afternoon Underdogs. 4 to 6 weekdays on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Take it or shake it.
Take it.
Take it.
Or shake it.
Shake it.
Take it or shake it.
Keyshawn J. Willimax is presented by Progressive Insurance. It's time to play Take It or Shake It. James, take it away.
Hey guys, what's up?
Hey
James.
Hey James.
Hi.
Hi, James.
Extra mayo for me, please.
Every time.
Wow.
Hold the tomatoes.
What?
Man.
You don't even know where that reference is from, James.
No, I don't.
Yeah, so why would you say, oh, wow?
I don't know.
Because Yates is laughing in the background?
Yeah. Yates is like screaming, laughing up here. So I just figured it was an insult.
No.
That's like baseline from you guys. I just...
Baseline for you guys.
Yeah, what's that supposed to mean?
What is that supposed to mean?
Yeah, there.
Yeah, what's that supposed to mean?
Yeah, what's that supposed to mean?
Okay.
You guys.
All right.
Here we
Take it
go.
or shake it is brought to you by
Radio
Grainger.
guys. Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers will at some point get annoyed at Matt LaFleur texting him too much this offseason. Take it or shake it.
Shake it! Shake it! Because he's not going to text him. He just said he don't want to, get in the way to a point where he's going to annoy him. So between now and the 16th of March, he probably sends him one text.
You know what you got to do, though? You got to slide into his DMs.
Shut up,
Oh,
Max.
what'd I say?
Why stop? I would really think that this could be segments. If we actually got the screen grabs of the text messaging conversations between Coach LaFleur and Aaron Rodgers, I really think it would be exciting just to pay attention to. Like, what was it? Just like a wavy Giphy? Like, hi, I'm here. Just let me know whatever you need. No response.
Thinking of you.
No response.
Yeah.
Another question. Question mark, question mark, question mark. Are you okay? Anything you need? No response.
Checking in.
Hitting from a blocked number, huh?
Just checking in.
Pick up.
Just checking in.
Checking in.
That line.
Just checking in. Had to talk to you in a couple days. Want to make sure everything's good.
And then you see the bubbles come up for Aaron Rodgers, and then no reply. He just disappears.
That'd be the worst. All right, take it or shake it. Kyler Murray will demand a trade this offseason.
Shake it!
Shake it!
Yeah, I think it's all, what do they call it, huff and puff or whatever you call it.
Puff and puff.
Whatever. I think it's
Puff, pass.
I think it's gonna be one of those deals. Diana Rossini reported the other day that Kyler Murray, if things didn't go well, him and his representatives could potentially ask for a trade in the next couple weeks. Guess what? He's not getting a deal in the next couple weeks.
What's bizarre about this to me is Kyler Murray, his agent, and his coach, and they have the same agent, and they're kind of tied at the hip, him and coach, you'd think, just got a deal. That suggests that they are going to give him a deal. So why the desperation to do it at this moment?
I have zero idea. If I knew Max and Jay, I could tell you no player coming out of his third year has gone to a team when they immediately became eligible to get an extension and say, you got to do me right now in 3 weeks.
Well, if you're tired of Cliff Kingsbury, just wait. Just wait now. Because, they made the threat before, and then Cliff Kingsbury and the GM got their extension. So
it's easy to do
it's
them,
coming.
though.
Yeah, it's coming.
But now,
easy to do them
no,
because
Jay's
they don't
right,
have
Key.
Salary cap.
Jay's
problems.
right. Now let's see what Kyler Murray does. Coach, your coach just got an extension. If he keeps making noise, then it's like there's something wrong with this.
But
guy.
if we got the same agent, Max, I know your deal.
Right.
It's coming.
Right, it's coming. So now he should pipe down. Let's see.
We got the same agent.
Yeah.
You knew Cliff Kingsbury was getting a deal. I don't know what. Who knows? Maybe he woke up on the wrong side of the bed.
All right, next up from our previous discussion at 7 o'clock, Kobe Bryant is a more skilled player than MJ. Take it or shake it.
Kobe Bryant is. See, I can't touch that. Y'all got to do that.
Can't touch it.
I will.
Can't touch it.
I'll take it because Jay explained what he meant, and I'll take it.
Shake it.
Shake it.
Nope, not saying it.
I'm shaking it.
I'm taking it.
But every generation, the best players improve on the skills of the previous generations. But skill alone doesn't make you better if the other dude is more effective. You have to know how to deploy your skill. You have to combine it with physical gifts.
Kobe Bryant took what he took from Michael Jordan and refined it to a different level.
Yes.
Just like all athletes.
Like Kyrie took
that's
from
just
Kobe.
what they do.
I think Kyrie's more skilled than anyone who ever lived, but I wouldn't say he's the best.
I would never have Kobe ahead of MJ in the GOAT conversation. I would never have it. Right?
Who did
Ever.
that?
Huh?
Who did that?
No, but I think people misinterpret what I say by saying he's more skilled, by saying he's better.
You're talking about there's a
skill
difference.
aspect of the game, the fine nuances of the game.
There's a difference between skill and talent and effectiveness and just skill he's talking about.
All I know is I grew up with both of them, and MJ has some it, and Kobe has some it.
Yeah.
and
But
you can
that's a
fill in
separate
the words
conversation. Yeah.
With that.
With supplies and solutions for every industry, Grainger is always there to help. Call, click, Grainger.com, or just stop by. One more from me. The Lakers will trade both Russell Westbrook, that's hard to say, and Anthony Davis this season. Take it or shake it.
Shake it!
Shake it!
Westbrook for sure going to be on the move. That's the one thing that I couldn't say about Rob Pelinka. When it comes to moving pieces, he's done a tremendous job as a general manager being able to do that.
I agree with you. They will not trade AD, but they should look at trading AD. See what the market gives the Lakers for Anthony Davis.
If it were me, I would trade both. I agree with Jay, though. I think they'll trade Westbrook and not AD, but I think they have to. I think they should do both.
Wait. Jay.
Yeah.
Take it or shake it. James has seen Undercover Brother.
Oh, I shake it. No way he hasn't seen Undercover Brother.
Keyshawn ain't seen Undercover Brother.
Max hasn't seen it either.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
So you didn't get the extra mayo reference either.
I didn't see it.
The white cheetah.
Take it or shake it. James has seen Beat Street.
Shake it.
Shake it. You saw Beat Street back in the day.
James, you
got
it.
Did, yeah.
I was just thinking when you said that, I'm like,
Yeah.
is that out again?
No. I'm just trying to think of the movie that at a certain age you would definitely have seen.
Hey, James, you got to go watch Undercover Brother. Come on, man.
All right, that's my
Keyshawn,
homework.
Jay Willimax, presented by Progressive Insurance. So much more coming up on ESPN Radio.
The minute you step behind the wheel of an all-new Toyota Tundra TRD Pro, you'll know it was made to make a statement, because it's a beast. Equipped with a 437 horsepower I-Force Max hybrid engine made for making power moves. Plus, available cockpit red interior with a technical camo pattern made to deliver a red carpet-like experience. Not to mention an in-grill LED light bar made to make you stand out from the crowd. The all-new Tundra TRD Pro, made to make a statement. Toyota, let's go places.
You're the one everyone looks to for answers. Come rain or shine, the job must get done, and you're the one who makes it happen. We get you, Jackie in Fresno, putting your employee safety first. And Manny in Chattanooga, whose local Granger team knows him by name. We're here for you and all the ones who get it done, with 24/7 customer support and access to product specialists to help you find what you need. Call, click Granger.com, or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
Do you want the best for your car? Then fill up with Premium at Circle K. Circle K Premium is our best fuel with double the cleaning detergent, protecting your engine from corrosion and damage so it can work at its best. And that, my friend, increases your mileage for more cha-ching in your pocket. Plus, when you fill up with Premium at Circle K, you can save up to 20 cents per gallon. Offer valid Thursdays or Fridays at participating stores. For details, visit CircleK.com. Circle K. How convenient.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Colin Cowherd. Bruce Arians, coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, said this about his couple years with Tom Brady. He goes, they were unbelievable. I got to say, Tom got all the credit. A lot of other guys had a hand in the pile. Wasn't all Tom Brady. Whoa! That's controversial. By the way, he's right. Tom was an investor with Tampa. He wasn't an entrepreneur.
This is The Herd.
And the story out today.
Weekdays 11 to 2, ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Good Thursday morning. I'm forecasting a nice day today with temperatures in the low 70s, mostly sunny skies, light southwest winds. Water temperature in the Gulf of Mexico is 66 degrees. Mostly clear overnight, about 45 to 50 for the air temperature. Friday, mostly sunny in the mid to upper 70s. This weather forecast has been brought to you by Offord Tire and Service Center in Callaway. For 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, I'm meteorologist Tim Root.
Have you been to Gin Gin Super King Buffet? It's not your average Gin Gin. Well, here's what you're missing. Gin Gin Super King Buffet has competitive pricing, a great selection, extensive buffet options perfect for family dining. Menu options also include top quality seafood, hibachi and sushi bar, or select their mouth-watering crab legs by order. Bring the family out to Gin Gin Super King Buffet, located next to Wonderworks at 9802 Front Beach Road on Panama City Beach.
Keep bugs outside where they belong. Hi, from Samaritan Ministries, I'm Doug Chamberlain with a family health checkup. Some people are fascinated with bugs. I'm not too crazy about them myself. Bugs are annoying and pose health risks beyond just the bite of a mosquito. Bee stings can cause severe reactions. Fleas and ticks can carry diseases, and other types of bugs and insects can contribute to the effects of allergies. And while it's tough to keep every gnat out of your house, here's some bug-proof tips for your home. Seal doors and windows. Repair tears and holes in screens. Check your plumbing, especially underneath the sinks. Bugs will seek out water. Clean under kitchen appliances. Wash dishes after meals and vacuum frequently to eliminate food crumbs. Keep food stored in airtight containers and make sure your trash can lid tightly seals. For more, visit us on Facebook or at familyhealthcheckup.org.
1 in 3 adults has prediabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your football buddy, your football buddy, or you, your best man, your worst man, you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. That's doihaveprediabetes.org.
Wait, did they just say 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes? That's 33.33333% of adults. That means it could be me, my boss, or my boss's boss, or me, my favorite sister, or my other sister. That's 7 members of my 21-person romantic book club. Wait, the 1 in 3 could be me, my karaoke partner Carol, or my karaoke enemy Jeff. I'm gonna take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
Most of us like to be out in the sun. That's why sunscreen and other safety measures are key to protecting your skin from aging and cancer. The FDA recommends using a sunscreen with an SPF of 15 or higher. Also, look for broad spectrum on the label. That means both harmful ultraviolet A and B rays are blocked. Remember, SPF plus broad spectrum equal healthy fun in the sun. Visit www.fda.gov/sunscreen for more information. A message from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration.
Your exclusive home for March Madness. Powered by Pepsi. WGS Excellent Haven, Panama City. 104.3. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Lights, camera, action.
It's the Coach James Hale Show.
Do you know who I am?
Live and local inside the J. Michaels studio.
People know me.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Get past the hit man.
And welcome to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida on an absolutely gorgeous, kind of cool but gorgeous Thursday. One of my favorite days because I get to spend 2 hours with Jeremy Pridgeon and Tommy Santamont, 2 unbelievable human beings that God has blessed. One of the best county ADs in the state of Florida. He's in the Hall of Fame. Unbelievable Tommy Santamont. Tommy, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing good, Coach Hale. I'm doing wonderful.
You're looking
good to be in Panama City.
Yep. You got any advice for people out there that are having a stroke or heart attack? Should they get in their car and drive 4 hours and take 4 aspirins? Or is that the correct procedure to handle heart attacks,
You
strokes?
forgot one thing. I stopped and had a big chocolate milkshake.
Oh, gosh.
He went through McDonald's, had a Big Mac. Anyway.
I will say one thing. You're about the biggest... baddest man. I wanted to say something else, but man, to do that, you got to be a.
He is. I'm telling you.
It wasn't nothing to it. It was easy. Yeah. It wasn't but 5 hours. It wasn't that long.
The thing about that, you should introduce our other partner over here. You've got him that keeps you straight, so I think that's what got you here. I think Jeremy's preaching got you here.
My pastor was God, that's for sure. I guarantee you.
Jeremy does an incredible job.
We have got people out there in Bay County. If you want to go to a great church, come to First United Methodist Church, 903 East 4th Street, Panama City, Florida. We got an outstanding staff and an outstanding senior pastor, Reverend Jeremy Pridgeon from Weewahishka, Florida, right here close by. One of our fellow men here around this area. But Jeremy does a wonderful job. Great sermons. I really enjoy his sermons every Sunday. So if you want to come to a great church, come and visit with us.
I love the times I've been there a couple times that you get into sports too. I mean, you do some good things the way you
there's a lot about sports that teaches about life. But I have to say, when I heard Tommy did what he did, I'm like, you did what?
I mean, I went to the first hospital I found.
I asked him, I said, what were you thinking? He goes, cocaine's a hell of a drug. That's always my favorite saying. Anyway.
Well, thinking about that trek, Tommy, I think the one area I was kind of concerned about was that stretch from Lake City to Tallahassee. Most of the places are named Memorial there for a reason.
There's not much there.
No, there's
That's when I was drinking my chocolate milkshake.
He was driving with one hand and popping his chest with his fist the other, trying to get that thing to pump blood. But anyway. I really look forward to these two guys, and we always have a really good time today. Looking forward, this is the first time this baseball season we got the legend coming on, Coach Hudson, Mosley High School, and I'll be honest with you, I hadn't even kept up with it so far. And tomorrow will be Bozeman Day. Coach Patton will be on. I know those two guys are two of the best, not only in the state of Florida, but in the Southeast. Heck, in the United States, what they do in baseball is incredible. Tommy, before we get going, do you know whose birthday it was yesterday?
No.
Gene Stallings.
Really?
Coach Gene Stallings turned 87 years old. He's had a couple heart attacks. He had some strokes, but he's doing well, man. I watched him on Facebook. He was talking about something.
About the tough one now. Ooh.
That's old school right there, buddy. He played for the Junction Boys, so you know he's tough. All right, Tommy, let's get into this new change here in high school football. I kept going back and forth. I thought one time, listen, that's not going to work because the most powerful people probably don't want this. And I thought like the private schools, the bigger schools down there that have all the political power wouldn't want it. They'd want to have their own state championship. They don't want to share a state championship. And I do not like the idea that the great state of Florida, we're going to have 2 state championship in classifications. I have a hard time dealing with that. But I know in some ways it's probably good. In some ways it's not. What's your thoughts on it? What would you have done? Why can't we do the right thing? And I said this yesterday. Why don't we have just a private league and a public league like they do most southern states? Well, I know why. I know the real reason why. But
because, a lot of state legislators, their kids go to private schools, and there's a state law now saying you can't divide public and private schools. You can't do it. It's against state law. So that's out unless someone ever changes the law. But
I'm running for governor.
It helps our local schools, but now the rural schools, it's no change really.
Yeah,
it's going to be the same. But as far as the metro, and when you look at the stats on how many championships the metro areas have won, 63 of the last 70 championships in classes 2A through 8A is won by the metro area. So, and you're going to have 9 state champions this coming year, 9 of them, 4 in metro, 4 in suburban, and then 1 in the rural.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a little.
Are they gonna take the top 2 teams, or is it just the district champs?
Well, they're gonna have districts, but they're gonna use that max prep.
Oh, you kidding?
You got wild cards. Yeah, district champs get in, but then they'll fill it in to round it out. Like the rural schools, I think have 24, so you get.
Well, let me ask you this: does that mean they don't have to play their district opponents?
You do have to play district opponents.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, but just the old top 2 automatically going is out, and they're going to fill it in based on the strength of schedule. Because sometimes you fight your way out of the district, you might be the 3rd team, but you were on the outside looking in, and
right.
And so they're going to try to give those schools a chance.
Because all districts are not created equal, just like in SEC, ACC. But it's always been worked in the past, but all of a sudden doesn't work anymore. Tommy, let me ask you this. Now, whose votes on this? Is this the same thing they did last year? This max prep power rating? No. To get in the playoffs, is the max preps the same
go
way?
by the power ratings.
Power ratings.
Yeah, wins and losses.
So those people actually look at all these teams, or they just read the newspaper? I don't get it.
They feed it all in a computer like the BCS and rankings and differentials. And,
unbelievable.
Yeah,
unbelievable.
But,
okay.
Anyway. It will help schools like good example, Florida High School. They were 2A. I think it's 2A.
Yeah.
And they lost 3 years in a row by playing a metro school. Or supposedly 2A metro school. So teams like and around here, it'll help Mosley and our schools around here. But it help them also because when they're in the suburban, so they won't end up playing some metro area where they got so many people to draw from. And I've always said this, remember, that in Bay County, we've got 3, 4, 5 high schools in Bay County, and you don't have that many people here. And it's to have a great program, you got to have good players, and we know what happens. We know they'll go to that school that's got the good one, but I've often said, why don't we just every year just flip a coin, let Bay have all the players. Next year, let Moses have all, and just get an all-star team.
You give the coaches 4-year contracts. That way, every 4 years, they'll be all right.
Yeah, yeah.
Let me ask you this, and Jeremy, you tell me if I'm wrong. I don't care if a Metro or Urban wins a state championship. If we have the exact same frame, like say if we're both in 4A, let's just say we're in 3A, this new thing, and if they've got as many students as I've got in that frame, if it's 1,000 or 1,500, whatever, if we're all there, and if they beat us, that's okay with me. Yeah, I got it right. Look at that. I wrote that Metro. But so it didn't bother me. They're the better team. They should be the best team in the state of Florida. You know what I'm talking about? If we got 1,000, let's say in 3A, just for argument's sake, we're in 3A, and I'm coaching at Lake Wells. We got 1,250 kids, okay? It goes from 1,000 to 1,503. I'm just using those numbers. This school down in Miami has 1,449 or 99, whatever. I don't care. Yeah. If we're in that same bracket, whatever you want to call it, and they beat us, well, they're the best team. I don't have a problem. I don't care if they're from a big city or if they're from Pensacola. I remember years when Pensacola won all those state championships. That's not a huge metro area.
Well, I think part of what we are seeing, though, in the upper classes is what the rural classes dealt with forever. Well, because Liberty County, might have 150 students, but then so did Miami Westminster Christian.
And there you go. That's the reason I said, why don't we address the problem? It's private, public. It's
St.
not
Thomas
metro.
Aquinas is not equal to
exactly
5A public school here.
Jacksonville Bowls, it doesn't matter what classification they play in, just like Aquinas down there. It doesn't matter if they were in 1A, 5A, 9A, whatever. They're going to win a championship because every kid, their daddies played in the NFL. The best players in that part of the city go there. Heck, that part of the state, they go down there. Jacksonville Bowls had people to move in. So it's not an urban, suburban. It's not that. It's private, public. But we don't want to face what the true problem is.
Well, and even beneath that is resources.
Yeah.
You know, because you go look at some of these places. I mean, I officiated all across the state of Alabama, and you get playoff assignments sent to different parts of the state, and you could tell very quickly where the schools had the resources and those who were just getting by.
Well, let's look at – go ahead, I'm sorry.
Even in the Metro classification, for instance, in 2A in Metro, the student enrollment is 601 to 1674.
That's crazy.
That's a big. I mean, that's
huge.
I mean, how you gonna? It's hard to, and I don't know if they're gonna tweak these. They might do it some.
No, they just went down to 68. I mean, 68, 68. Another one went 64, 64. So
yeah, right. And I don't know whether they look at the schools, and some of this is gonna change before all this classification. That's what FHSA staff's gonna have to do. They're gonna have to work out all this stuff and try to get it as equal as possible. But I think Bozeman in the paper today, it said they petitioned to go down to 1A, and that's 600 and below Bozeman. And had they not, they would have been in there with 601 to, I'm sorry, wrong one.
601 to 1440, 42. That's
so
crazy.
They are in that instead of, they're in the 1A 600 and below.
Yeah.
And instead of being in 601 to 1442. And if you're right on the edge, you can appeal to go up or down, whatever, depending on your situation. Yeah. A lot of schools do that. In Bozeman, I guess they did. I don't know if they were doing it this quick, but that's what Bozeman said they've done.
Well, what they did in the suburban, it was this top 68 schools were in 4A. Then they went, which was 1883 up. Mm-hmm. So you could have a lot more kids in 1883. Okay, right. But they took the top 86 schools. Then they went to the next 68 schools, put them in 3A, which they wanted the lower number to be 1443, and the higher number 1892. Right. So you're going to be a real small 3A or a big 3A. But let me go back to this public-private. Mosley baseball, okay? I don't care what urban, suburban, I don't care. If Mosley's playing public schools, Mosley High School in baseball can compete and win state championships.
If Archbishop McCarthy's on the other side, it's going to be tough.
Yeah. So it's not. So this is just putting a Band-Aid on it. This is not fixing anything.
And I don't know. Like I say, I don't know if they'll ever change the law. But I know a lot of state legislators' kids go to private schools. So
are they going to do this for baseball, all sports? Or just going to be football? Just football. Mm-hmm. Just football.
Yeah. You know, Pine Forest had one of the best teams of the Panhandle. Mosley, you know, went over there and lost a pretty close ball game to them, but Pine Forest ran into Tampa Jesuits. And had them on the ropes. I mean, they kind of collapsed at the end, but Jesuit wins the state title again.
I want to look at things a little bit. I'm going to go and dig in this a little bit more. I want to look at my Arnold Marlins. They've got them. Now, Jeff Skipper sent this to me. They've got them in 3A. They got Arnold in 3A. They've got them going District 2, which will be Godby, which won state championships. Lincoln's in there, which won state championship, and Rickards. We compete with Rickards. That gets them 3 games. They got to travel across the bridge all the way to Eastern Time Zone. Now, if I'm them, I would be thinking maybe I want to petition and go west. And we did that before. I'd rather go play Pensacola, Escambia, and people like that than go to Tallahassee. That's just me. And I didn't like crossing the bridge because it's hard certain time of year getting across that bridge. So if they go to the west, they go west to District 1 is Choctaw, Escambia, Fort Walton, Pensacola, Washington, and Pine Forest. You still got 2 powerhouses in there.
I think I'd go to Tallahassee.
No, I wouldn't. I'd still go west. You're going to get more money. You're going to get people to show up. They come over when you got a home game.
Is that going up or down?
It's just going from one district to the other, going east to west.
What's the enrollment, though?
The same. They're same classification, 3A.
Okay.
Think about it. Choctaw's been down. We beat Choctaw. We can beat Choctaw.
Choctaw's been down.
Escambia, they're loaded. They're the team over there. They're going to have a hard time with Escambia. You're going to have a hard time with Godby. Then you look at Pine Forest. Well, Lincoln's pretty doggone good, and so's Pine Forest. So you got 2 you're going to have problems with.
Fort Walton Beach has really been down.
Fort Walton Beach. Arnold can beat Fort Walton Beach. Pensacola, Washington, they've been down. We beat them. We beat Fort Walton. We can beat those teams. I don't know. Then what do you do, though? If you go with a smaller district, you have 7 opportunities to schedule. Everybody want to play Arnold right there because they're down. They can get a decent schedule. So I don't know. Y'all hold your thought. When we get through talking baseball, we'll come back to this and see what you guys think. I want your opinion on this. But when we get back, I'm real excited about if we can get Coach Hudson on the phone, talk about what's going on with Mosley baseball. Does he have the talent to do it again? Looking forward to seeing him after we get through talking about our great sponsors. Yesterday, J. Michael's Restaurant, world-famous spaghetti. Lunchtime was packed out. Went there lunch, went back for dinner. My granddaughter, my son Jared, we had a wonderful time. It's packed out again. J. Michael's Restaurant, best seafood, coldest beer. But every Wednesday, if you have not done it yet, get out to J. Michael's. You'll love it. Try the world-famous spaghetti. Stevenson Air Conditioning, we don't care. And hey, listen. Summer's not here. Spring's not here. It's going to get cold again. We're about a week away. It's going to drop out again. It's going to get cold here. And you need Stevenson Air Conditioning. It doesn't matter if you're hot, cold, whatever. They're going to take care of you. If it breaks down, give them a call. They'll be out there anytime, day or night. Tommy, talk about Buffalo Rock.
Buffalo Rock, the place where you need to make sure you buy their products because they support all of our schools, our athletics, and other, not just athletics, but other parts of our school system and the community as well. Great people. All you got to do is go and ask them, and if they can do it, which I know when I was working, they never said no to me. So they were great people. So I really appreciate all the things they've done for our schools and our community.
All right, we'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida. I don't know, guys.
Good Thursday morning. I'm forecasting a nice day today with temperatures in the low 70s. Mostly sunny skies, light southwest winds. Water temperature in the Gulf of Mexico is 66 degrees. Mostly clear overnight, about 45 to 50 for the air temperature. Friday, mostly sunny in the mid to upper 70s. This weather forecast has been brought to you by Mid-South Lumber, best little lumber yard in Panama City and Youngstown. For 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, I'm meteorologist Tim Root.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida presents the madness of college basketball. 68 teams, 32 conference champions, but there can only be one. ESPN Northwest Florida is your exclusive radio home for the NCAA College Basketball Tournament.
Do you have a home that you don't want anymore? We can buy it from you within 24 hours. Any home, size, or condition. For over 20 years, we've been buying homes for cash and helping homeowners sell their homes immediately with no listings or strangers walking through your home. Are you moving? Did you lose your job? Going through a divorce? Whatever the reason, if you're in a bind and you know that you need to sell your house fast, call the expert team at I Need to Sell My House Fast. We'll make you a serious cash offer to buy your home in 24 hours and let you walk away from it. No listing, no waiting. Sell any home, any size, any condition now. Call the expert team at I Need to Sell My House Fast. Make this free call now.
800-407-6742. 800-407-6742. 800-407-6742. Again, that's 800-407-6742.
And here we go. The #1 SEC call-in show is now twice as big. The Paul Feinbaum Show. Weekday evenings 6 to 10. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Mosley started out 3-0.
And welcome back to 104.3 ESPN Northwest. I like that song there. Good job, Randy. And today, been looking forward for today because we got the legend on. Coach Hudson from Mosley High School, Tommy Santamart, Jeremy Pridgeon here also. We're going to get ready to get into Mosley baseball, defending state champs. Coach, how you doing this morning?
Hey, I'm doing great, guys. Thanks for having me on. Good talking to you again.
Yeah, we missed you. Thank you so much for coming on. Everybody's got questions for you today. You guys are 3-0. You got it rolling again. My question, since it's the first show, I'm going to hold off on this one. Since it's the first show, if you wouldn't mind, would you give us a little love, a little recognition of your assistant coaches, some of your boosters, and then some of the players that are doing well, and then Tommy and Jerry want some questions also.
Okay. Well, coaching-wise, we have most of our staff back from what we've had here for the last several years. Cullen Hartzog is back with me again, and Blake Norad is a longtime assistant I've had for a long time since he played for me back at Rutherford. So Blake's back. Taylor Stanford's back with us, and Brett Duvall. So Lance Bailey is no longer with us. He was offered the assistant coach over at Gulf Coast, so he's over at Gulf Coast now.
Wow.
So it's us 5 coaches right now, and it's good to have the stability, with the same coaches around there. So, we kind of know how each other operates. And so good to have those guys back with us. As far as our players go, we have 10 seniors this year.
Wow.
So we are a junior-senior dominated group, and there's a lot of experience there. And, we're off to a really good start. We're swinging the bat pretty well for this early in the year. Hopefully we'll continue that. We have a pretty powerful lineup. We really do. We're looking forward to the offense being a big strength for us this year. And, I don't think we're playing our best baseball yet. I know we're not. We're kicking it around a little bit defensively right now, and that's not like us. Pitching-wise, we'll see how that rolls. We've got a couple guys that are proven pitchers for us back with Tyler Wave and Hudson Rowan. Blake Thomas also is proven. Those guys should be leading us on the mound. And so we'll see. We've got a challenging schedule this year that should really challenge the depth of our staff as well. So, really, I think pitching is going to be, however far we go, it's going to be what we're going to get out of our pitchers. It always comes down to that when you get to the playoffs and that kind of thing. So, anyway, Hudson Rowan's doing well. He's going to be our guy. He's on the mound tonight. He pitched a state title game last year and got a lot of experience that way from Hudson for being just a junior. He's got some big game experience. Tyler Wave has been great, both offensively and on the mound for us this year. He dominated Crestview the other night on the mound. And, he's our 3-hitter in the middle of the lineup guy. Rock Holland has really got off to a big start for us. He's already got a couple home runs and a triple, and he's hitting over 600 so far early in the year. And Trevor Allen's 500 or better. Played shortstop for us, and really talented young man there. And he's hitting in the 2-hole and right at the top of our lineup. And we expect him to be a consistent performer, both offensively and at shortstop. He can really play. He's going to Gulf Coast next year, and really good player. Cole Horton, Jacob Payne behind the plate. He hit a big walk-off home run for us the other night. We got into it with terrible defense in the 7th. We let Gulf Breeze get back into a ball game, and he bails us out, leading off the bottom of the 7th with the walk-off home run there. So, we've got a lot of good players. Trent Nelson, Banks Byers, is top of the lineup for us with the big-time speed. Trent's an experienced hitter, and he's had a really good start. He's going to give us quality at-bats every time he gets at the plate. And really, third baseman, he's as good as you can find over there as well. So, a lot of good players. We've got a lot of good talent. It's just a matter of, getting everything firing on the right cylinders. And I don't think first 3 games in, not many teams really are playing their best.
How hard was it for you to get a schedule? I mean, usually when you're as good as you guys have been, you win a championship, some people back off, don't want to play. So how difficult was getting a schedule this year?
Very difficult. It was. I'm not going to code it. It was tough to get a schedule this year. Really got to go mostly over to Pensacola and play. We're on the road. We actually have 11 road trips this year. We have 8 home games and 17 road games. So it's not the easiest thing in the world, but it is what it is. And it's, with the schedule we have, there's no way, if we're resilient enough to, be able to handle, probably a loss here and there that we, with the schedule we've got, it does nothing but prepare us for Final Four. So that's where we're at. And I'm not backing off of the schedule. It's awesome. We love it. But it's no joke. And, every game we're going to be challenged, which is that's what you hope for.
Coach, this is Jeremy. I think you make a great point with the scheduling. I noticed you've got a trip over Bartram Trail, Swanee, Nice on the first weekend of spring break. And that, at some point you may have to draw one of those type of trips in the playoffs to go over and travel 4 or 5 hours for one ball game. Also, the second weekend, you've got this spring break tournament. Where is that being played, and what's kind of the story on those games with Houston County, Miami team, one out of Arkansas?
Yeah, that's the Perfect Game tournament. It's actually the first time we've played in a Perfect Game event. But these are national caliber teams, and we wanted to get in this tournament. First of all, it's a local tournament. Perfect Game is coming. Again, it's one of the top tournaments in the country. So, Houston County, they won the state title in 6A in Georgia last year, and that's who we get right off the bat, first game out. So they're going to be one of the top teams in the country this year. I think they were ranked preseason by Max Preps in the top 30 or 40 teams in the country. And they've got a lot of kids back from that team, and they are pretty much loaded up. So, that's going to be a big challenge. Then we play that Harbert team out of Arkansas the next day, and Harbert's been in the Final Four in the highest class 6A state over in Arkansas for 8 years in a row, and they've been in the championship game the last 4. So they're pretty much University of Arkansas's minor league team over there. They really have a ton of commits. They've got 3 Arkansas commits and 3 Arkansas State commits, and they've always got the pitching there. So, and then Mater Lakes down in South Florida, they're a good private school down there. They were ranked, I think they finished the season last year in the top 20 in the state overall in the state of Florida. So 3 really good ones there.
How many teams are taking part in that one?
There's 8 teams in it. Yeah.
Well, that's outstanding. Very good. Well, I know it's a tough slate, but you've got a lot of great teams on the schedule. Learned a lot about your ball team. I do think it'll pay huge dividends. Any changes to the postseason format? How does that look this year for baseball?
Yes, there are some changes. There's definitely some changes with the format, and I don't understand those either. So I think we play our let's see, how's that work? Our let's see, the regionals we play Tuesday, Friday, and then the finals of the regionals is the next Monday. So we have 3 games in 6 days. Wow. Tuesdays is the quarters, Friday is the semis, and Monday is the regional final. Well, on Monday. The regional championship game is on Monday, and we can't practice on Sundays. So, hey, guys, take a day off, and then let's go play in the Elite Eight. Wow. and then if we're if we're able to get through all this, which I'm not going to complain to go to the Final Four ever, but Monday's the regional finals, and our Final Four starts on Thursday. Down south Thursday.
So in previous years you could ride one arm, and now you're going to have several arms ready to go.
Yeah, we won't even be able to throw. You're going to have to throw your ace in the first round of the region. So then you'll have to throw him in the finals of the region, the third game, and then that's on Monday. The Final Four's on Thursday, so we won't even be able to use our ace in the Final Four when we get down there. So, the turnaround time from. I have no idea. I emailed the FHSAA. I know the guy in charge of baseball there. He's a great guy. I emailed him several times when I saw what it was looking like it was going to be before they plugged in Class 5A on the date for the Final Four. And I said, I hope we're not playing on Monday and then having to play state championship semifinals on Thursday. If that was the case, for us, just travel alone. We may be in Jacksonville Monday night playing our regional, final game, and then normally we need to leave 2 days before to get all the way down there and acclimate ourselves to a Final Four situation. So, that's I don't understand how that one worked out, but that is what it is. So,
Coach, let me ask you something. Can we hold you over just for a few minutes? We got a couple more questions if you got the time. Okay, great. Let's talk about some of our sponsors. We'll come back with Coach Hudson, head baseball coach, state championship coach at Mosley High School. Let's talk about Dr. Chad Mitchell. Tommy, you know Chad, 22 years on Bay County sidelines, taking care of everybody, and does an incredible job. If you want to make an appointment, call Southern Orthopedics. Chad will take care of you. Does a great job. When you go to closing, do what the big boys do and do what we do. If you, any kind of real estate deal, you demand Chuck Tucker. South Oak Title and Closing. Chuck is unbelievable. His dad was the principal at Mosley.
Yeah, he's Tucker.
Yeah. All right, we'll be right back. Coach Hudson, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Dan Patrick Show.
Sad day for baseball yesterday. We knew it was coming. I feel bad for the hardcore baseball fan because they do watch 162 games. The casual fan may tune in to see Shohei Ohtani or Mike Trout, Garrett Cole pitch. But opening day, it's a big deal. It's always been a big deal.
Dan Patrick. 9 to 11 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
At Slim Chickens, craft means something. Craft means bacon. And oh, so crispy. Kraft means a good cayenne kick and all-natural buttermilk marinated, made fresh, perfectly fried chicken, all served on toasted brioche buns. At Slim Chickens, Kraft means quality. And for a limited time, try our new Memphis-style barbecue chicken sandwich. Try Slim's Kraft sandwiches today. Slim Chickens.
Hi, this is Coach James Hale. Keeping your car looking great is easy as 1, 2, 3 at Blue Sky Express Car Wash. By joining their monthly wash club, you'll get the best bang for your buck. In just 2 car washes, your monthly membership pays for itself, starting at only $19.99 a month. What are you waiting for? Become a member today at Blue Sky Express Car Wash on Back Beach Road next to Home Depot. Tell them Coach Hale sent you.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida are proud members of the Panama City Beach Chamber. We'd like to welcome the newest members to the Beach Chamber.
BNI of Northwest Florida, Central Maloney Incorporated, Hardy Custom Home Builders, LLC, Hensel Phelps, Labor Ready to Go, LLC, and Uniquely Made.
Congratulations from the area's only sports radio station, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Now back to the Coach James Hale Show.
I'm not prepared. I really am not prepared at all.
I hope you won't judge me on one email I sent 10 years ago.
My apartment smells of rich mahogany.
Live from the J. Michael Studio.
Not after spicy or food
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Got a lot of great information this morning from Coach Hudson. Kind of all three of us are kind of blown away at what the state has done again. Coach, Tommy Sandemont has a couple questions for you. Go ahead.
Hey, John. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, I'm doing great, Tommy.
Good to see you. Good to listen to you, not see you. But listen, John, first thing I think your booster needs to raise the money and buy you a jet to travel around with. Especially with the playoffs the way it's set up.
It may be cheaper with these buses, the way these buses are getting.
That's true.
That's a good way to get players in when you have a jet and travel in. Hey, listen, John, how did the baseball committee let all this, the way the playoffs are set up? Was it not set up when they met, or what's the deal with that? Have you heard anything about that?
No, I have not. I didn't even know who our advisory person was. It was blank on the sheet for a long time, and I just found out that there is a guy that we have representing our region, our area. Yeah. But I didn't know any of this was going on. As far as I don't mind. I really don't mind the Tuesday, Saturday, Monday deal. That's fine. I don't mind that at all. My biggest concern is with the Thursday turnaround time, getting down there. Why they did, I have no idea why they did it. They put 1A the same type of time as ours, but the 1A's regional finals are the Friday or before that. So they've got a week to prepare, plan, make out an itinerary, find a way down, all the things you have to do to get ready to go, on an 8.5-hour bus trip. And, but I knew that we were the only other ones that could possibly play during that, on that time frame. So I knew that was coming, but just didn't get any communication.
You're going to do some heck of a coaching this year to find out what players are going to play when and where.
Yeah, I know. We've already kind of, it's way too early to think about that stuff. Right. Just coaches sitting around talking about it. Well, maybe we can throw our best pitcher if we have a best guy. Maybe we could throw him. Just a few innings if you can get through that on the regional finals, and then we can pitch him again. No. There's nothing you can really do. It's just every other year. You go and you throw your best guy when you can throw your best guy. And
main thing is you got to get in that position to do all that, don't you?
Well, 100%. And it's not going to be easy. We just went through a Gulf Breeze team, the other night. This is no joke, and they're coming. They were young last year, but they've got several big-time Division I commits on that team, and they are growing up. They got a really good, well-coached team over there, and they're going to be no joke. And then Lincoln's now in our district this year.
John, on that, I was going to ask you about that Gulf Breeze game, 8-7. Was the errors infield throwing errors? What kind of errors did you commit there? In that was 7 inning, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. Yeah, it was the 7th inning, and there were 3 ground ball errors that we didn't pick them up.
Wow,
didn't pick them up.
Good night.
One of them was we had 2 outs, and we'd already made it the 7-6 game with 2 outs, and there was a slow roller hit out to short, and that was one of those where Trevor came in. It's an error, but it really kind of took a hop. As you're running in on a slow roller, it really did take a hop. You can't really call it a hit, but it took a hop and he just went off his glove or whatever. But that was a little tougher error. But the others were ground balls right at us. It is what it is. But we did the same thing with Mariana, and we had the same issue in the 7th inning where we're up 9-1, and we had another little issue. With a different guys. They're spreading the errors around pretty good. It's not necessarily one guy. We've had mistakes all around the infield so far, but nothing we can't fix. We've just got a couple of them. It's just experience thing.
Coach,
new guy at a position.
I wanted to ask you, who is your district? Who all is in the district this year?
Well, it's us, Lincoln, Choctaw, and Rickards.
Wow. Okay.
So, yeah, us and Lincoln, Choctaw, Rickards, and we are hosting that the district, so that works out well. But yeah, it's Rickards has had some really good talent over there in the past, and Choctaw has been down. Really, they've been down for Choctaw, but I think this year they've gotten off to a little bit better start, I believe. So, but Lincoln's Lincoln, and it's one of those teams where you don't play them in the district, it possibly could be us and them in the district finals, and then you turn around and then you got Gulf Breeze that you're dealing with, and Escambia is actually off to a big start. They're 4-0 over there on that side as well. So you never know what you got. Lincoln's big time. Lake City, Columbia is in our region this year, and they've got a new coach in over there, and he brought his 93-mile-an-hour right-handed 6'6" kid with him, and then another transfer in that is a big-time guy too. So the region's going to be a lot tougher this year than it was last year. Just Lincoln being in it alone, that's a team that has a ton of tradition. So, with improved Gulf Breeze and Columbia in there, it's a rough road to go, but hopefully our schedule will really help us out on being prepared for it.
What's your opinion in Bay County baseball, the other teams? Is this going to be a good year, or what do you think of the rest of Bay County?
Oh, yeah. I really do believe. I'll tell you, we played both of them in the preseason, and, that's a heck of a good team right there. I don't know how somehow we ended up beating them, but I don't think – if I was Patton, I wouldn't talk to me for a year after that game. They had us beat, and we came back and somehow got them there, but they've got just an unbelievably good team this year. I expect them to have the big trophy at the end of the year. I really do. I think they're going to get it done, and Arnold's really, really coming on. They've got some good young talent over there, and they've got some confidence going on. They're playing real well. I drove out to Gulf Breeze and watched them play them last week, and just came away just very impressed with both teams. The way they played. So, there's Rutherford's really coming along there as well. I think that hopefully they're going to have some more. Enrollment, maybe I'm hearing that, with the new base things that they're going on over there, maybe they'll get some enrollment there. And so, I'm looking forward to a lot of good baseball. It should be just like it always is around here with a lot of good teams.
Well, Coach, thank you so much for staying on longer with us. We really appreciate it. We'll talk to you next Thursday at 7:15, and good luck this week, okay?
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Coach.
See you next week.
All right. Does a great job, man. Enjoy having him on. Tommy, let's get back to, since Arnold's getting, I'm telling you, that's pretty good. Arnold beat Gulf Breeze also. I'm getting excited about their baseball program there. We've always said we need to keep the kids on the beach. We're going to be pretty good. But let's talk about Arnold football. I want both you guys' opinion. What would you do? Would you stay in the District 2 and play Godby, Lincoln, Rickards, travel to the Eastern time zone? Or would you go west? Would you petition to go west and play Escambia, Choctaw, Fort Walton Beach, Washington? Really, again, I'm going to say Choctaw, Fort Walton Beach, and Washington, Arnold's in good shape. Of course, Pine Forest and Escambia, pretty good football teams. Mm-hmm. So what would you do? What would you...
as I told you, I'd rather go to Tallahassee than Pensacola, but that's just my opinion. And knowing the people, I know most of the people in Tallahassee, so I just like those guys over there. But that's not a reason to do it. But you got, as a coach, you got to look at like you're doing right now, where you have your best chance to win, and I'm sure that's what they're gonna actually do, because when it comes down to it, you got to win to keep going. So
yeah,
you got to do it.
If you stay in that district you're talking about. If you go east and you play Godby, Lincoln, Rickards, that's 3 games. So you got an opportunity to go schedule 7 teams that maybe you have a chance to play with. And they haven't been good. They were down last year. So I think they could probably schedule a pretty good schedule. Mm-hmm. People, like Coach Hudson's got this saying, when you're winning, nobody wants to play you. Right. If you're having a down year, everybody will play you. So maybe that's the way they'll go. But what do you think, Jeremy? What would you do?
I'd go east. Pensacola, I think, is pretty tough. I mean, not knocking the other schools over in Tallahassee that you mentioned. Lincoln's tough. Godby's tough. But I I feel like you're going to be a little bit more competitive over in Tallahassee. And, you make a point about, go to the games in Tallahassee, maybe the crowds don't show up as much. And I know North Florida and Florida High and some of those others, get some of the fan base and support. That's not really the case in Pensacola. You don't have the public-private piece. Those are the strong public schools that are supported there. So I'd stay a little closer to home. Yeah, you got to cross the bridge. Yeah, you play on the Eastern time zone. But truth of the matter is, it's six o'clock ball game over here. It's not even a late night. So.
That's true. I didn't think about that part. All right, hey, we get back. Tommy, you got some FSU on for us today? All right, we'll be right back. Let's talk about some of our great people, man. I appreciate all of our sponsors. They do an incredible job, and please go out and support them. They do great things here. Bay Point Golf, there's only one place to play play golf. That is at Bay Point. Ron Movey does a great job. I was on the phone with him last night. We were going back and forth. The Auburn basketball game, Mississippi State, that was an incredible basketball game last night. I know you got some updates a little bit later, Jeremy, on Bama's basketball.
They played for half.
Yeah, for one half. Rudy's Barbecue and Bat Beach Road, both these guys have been out there. It's outstanding. Matter of fact, at Christmas time, Tommy went and got turkeys, hams, everything from out there. It was incredible. Jeremy's like the same thing with me. He loves that turkey sandwich. It's a great place to go. Rudy's Barbecue, Rudy Tooties on Bat Beach Road, Rudy's Barbecue. Ethan Boyd does a great job there. We'll be right back. Tommy Santamont, FSU, 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Good Thursday morning. I'm forecasting a nice day today with temperatures in the low 70s, mostly sunny skies, light southwest winds. Water temperature in the Gulf of Mexico is 66 degrees. Mostly clear overnight, about 45 to 50 for the air temperature. Friday, mostly sunny in the mid to upper 70s. This weather forecast has been brought to you by Offord Tire and Service Center in Callaway. For 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, I'm meteorologist Tim Root.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, your home for college basketball. Ball game! This Saturday, the Auburn Tigers welcome the South Carolina Gamecocks to the jungle as two SEC powerhouses collide.
Auburn wins it!
Coverage starts at 11:30, tip-off at noon, followed by Texas at Kansas. College basketball lives here. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Here at Panama City Toyota, we love things that last. Of course, it starts with beautiful, reliable Toyota cars and trucks. It continues with every customer relationship, across generations and hundreds of thousands of miles. And now, we're proud to offer something you can count on year after year after year. A free lifetime warranty that covers your drivetrain and powertrain. If you shop with us, we'll be here for you. Because peace of mind should last throughout your entire journey.
At Slim Chickens, craft means something. Craft means bacon. And oh, so crispy. Craft means a good cayenne kick. And all-natural buttermilk marinated, made fresh, perfectly fried chicken. All served on toasted brioche buns. At Slim Chickens, craft means quality. And for a limited time, try our new Memphis-style barbecue chicken sandwich. Try Slim's Craft Sandwiches today. Slim Chickens.
I'd like to introduce.
Now back to the Coach James Hale Show.
Milk was a bad choice.
If I could just have your attention. 60% of the time, it works every time.
If anyone wants to switch jobs, let me know.
Live from the J. Michael Studio.
I have many leather-bound books.
At 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Florida State, Florida State, Florida State. Woo! Speaking of Florida State, got to speak about Newbies. 3 great locations. There's only 2 reasons to come to Panama City Beach. Number 1.
Newbies on the beach. Go and enjoy the famous drinks out there they've got and enjoy the white, beautiful, sandy beaches.
He did pretty good at that commercial. Changed it up a little bit, but he did a pretty good job with that. That's good. Newbies 2 on the Curve has been remodeled. It's absolutely gorgeous in there. I went by the originals and saw Kathy, and I'm telling you what, man, they've got some great food at the mothership now. The best bands in the Southeast every Friday and Saturday night. Get out to all the Newbies, have a wonderful time. And we saw John. John was playing racquetball yesterday. I waved, and he had his back to me. I saw her looks good. He looks like he's still playing. Of course, Charlotte's absolutely gorgeous. All right, let's get into it, Tommy. What do you got for us today on FSU?
Well, there's a lot of stuff going on at FSU. Last night, the Seminole basketball actually they beat Notre Dame 74-70, and you know they're the most unpredictable team probably in college basketball, mainly because four of their the best players have been out with injuries, so they're playing with a lot of their second teamers and third teamers or whatever. But they came back and beat Notre Dame last night, a big victory in Tallahassee. And I think that's kind of Notre Dame was in the running to win the ACC regular season championship, but I don't know if they are now after FSU beating them. But anyway, in football, FSU and I think all teams have they call it the tour of duty, and most teams, most college teams have this thing. It used to be the mat drills when Coach Baldwin was there, and little Coach Mickey Andrews would get out there and get fired up with them and get them going. But Josh Storms is the strength coach at FSU, and this is, Coach Norville's called it the tour of duty. And they had a great interview with Coach Storms on the tour of duty and how it's going with the players. And he said players coming in and you understand that this is FSU's conditioning. They start this in the winter. And the reason they get started in winter, which makes a lot of sense because, you know, you've lost players, some of your leaders, you've lost them, and you come back and you have to establish new leaders. So this is the thing that they do, and it's a lot of it's just an hour of running, jumping, agility drills, and other exercises that taxes the players. I mean, it puts a lot of pressure on them. Coach Storm says the thing about it is a lot of anxiety with the players having to go through this hour-long practice each day, and so it's pretty tough, and it develops leadership, and that's one of the things that they do in it. And another thing he talks about, it develops the player accountability. You know, they hold other players accountable because I can tell you in one of these, if somebody messes up, everybody suffers. So it's one of those types of things. And the interesting thing, and I can't wait to see Jared Verse play. He was that transfer from Albany. And this is what Coach Storms, now he's been through a lot of these players. He's seen a lot of them. This is what he talks about Jared Verse. He said, this dude is a certified freak of nature. And for him to say that, and I understand that because Jared's from Pennsylvania. And when he got a scholarship at Albany, he was 6'3", 210 when he signed. And then during the summer, he comes to college, he's 6'3", 240.
Wow.
So his dad and him started work out and getting all the protein drinks. And so that gives you an idea of the dedication this guy has. And I am really anxious to see him, see how he's going to do. And another kid that Caden Lyles, he's another big, I mean, he's a monster. And hopefully he's going to probably be the center. He's going to probably take the Smith kid's place, most likely, because the Smith kid's a little underweight for what he's got to do. But anyway, those two players, I'm looking forward to seeing how they do. Another player that is very exciting is that Toafili kid, the running back, super fast, shifty, can play. He's going to get some chances to run the ball. He got hurt, a small kid. He got hurt last year and didn't get a chance. But the freshman year, he averaged over 9 yards a carry, which is really good when you look at as a freshman coming in there. So anyway, those three kids, I'm kind of looking forward to seeing what they're going to do with FSU this year. And the getting back this tour of duty, they assign jerseys, and I don't know, the black jersey is the one for the top performers. And I can imagine wearing a jersey and doing this. I bet you, I mean, I would think they would get pretty heated up with all the stuff they're doing. And they did open up the tour of duty for the media to come in and watch. So they only do it one time, and they did it this past week, and the media got in there, and they went through all the transfers and all the freshmen, and they commented on how well all these kids were doing, and they were really, and Coach Norville was really high on this Jared Verse. So I'm excited to see him, see what he'll end up doing it there when you know, we've seen a lot of kids the bars. Remember the bars?
Yeah.
And whenever some of these kids get in uniform, it's a different story. When you get out there and somebody's trying to run over you and you're trying to run over them, so it's going to be exciting to watch them anyway and see how they do. And FSU, as far as the football and what they're doing, they have really committed to hiring some all-season staff. I mean, to increase their staff, and they are going to hire a girl.
I saw that.
From Arizona. Do you see a picture
Beautiful.
of her?
Good.
Really?
I'd like to be recruited by her.
And she's going to be director of a recruiting operation. They've not announced it yet, but she's from Arizona. They had the highest rated recruiting class last year in the Pac-12. So I can see why they'll probably want to go with her around.
You know what you said? We talked about how is Arizona, because they were like 111 or whatever. It was really terrible. But the recruit was crazy, and I did not know that. No wonder they're hiring her.
Yeah. So
she's gorgeous, man.
Yeah, and they also hired Josh Garrett as the director of scouting on offense, and he's a brother of the Dallas Cowboys head coach Jason Garrett. So.
Did they say what her title was, though? What is
it's going to be a director of recruiting operations.
Okay. Yeah, man. She's impressive.
They hired this other guy, Gabe Fortilla. He's the offensive analyst. He was at Louisville, and he coached at probably the best high school in Louisiana. He's everybody wants to go to this school. It's
Is it one in New Orleans?
Yeah, Catholic, I think.
Okay, I know, yeah.
And then they hired another kid, Greg Moss, as a defensive analyst. So they're adding to their staff. And, when you look at, for instance, Alabama and all the people they got on there, they got one to watch how long their toes grow and fingers grow. They got people for everything. And FSU is really getting on the bandwagon trying to – and they've made a commitment to hire these people. So I think – what Coach Norville's doing there, he's getting it lined up, and I think he's going to be successful. I really do.
I can't wait that Labor Day weekend, Sunday night, LSU in New Orleans, the Superdome. I really want to go to that game. I think we've got 2 tickets, and evidently, I think everything's going to be opened up. I mean, you saw the clown show the other night. All the politicians had their mask off. So I think we're going to be able to go to New Orleans. I think they're going to get all that stuff going. So I will go to the game if you don't have to do all that kind of stuff. Looking forward to that. Hey, when you were talking, Tommy and Jeremy, it reminded me, it just flashed back. The winter workouts, you said if one guy does it wrong, listen, he's not kidding about that. I will never forget. Just the running days for 50 minutes, and people are going to go, how can you do that? And I'm like, how can you do that? For 50 minutes, you're always moving. It's crazy. Right. And back then, they didn't have a strength coach. It was the coaches out there doing it. Your same coaches. Like, you talk about Mickey. We had Jim Carmody, coach, the Mr. Nasty, Coach Nasty. And they would start the drill, and you have all these guys lined up, and you had to be perfect position. They break it down. If your stance was not perfect, back bent, if it wasn't perfect, it didn't count. And they didn't tell you until after everything was done. So he would direct the drills. You would do it. Then you would sprint down to the next coach. You'd have to keep your shoulders square, sidestep, get into him. Everybody's close together by this coach. Then he would point one way or the other. You had to sprint across a cone, sprint back, get back in line, and they'd either go, good job, or hell no. I remember that, hell no. And so but as soon as that group went, the other group was jumped up and go. But you had so many to do, and they had a guy keeping up with it. When they said it didn't count, it added on. Yeah. So the key to getting through winter workouts was never to have to repeat. Yeah, right. And what's that teach you? Discipline. Do it right. Sure. Do it right. Do it light. Do it wrong. Do it long.
Player accountability.
Yeah. Too. At the end of it, we did our 40s. I'm talking about you've never seen me bag drills, jumping box drills, agility drills. You name it, we did it. And then at the end, you did 40s. You had to do perfect 40s. Again, everything had to be broke down, 3 lines, break down, go, next guy's break. It was just unbelievable the way they did it. But you'd go all the way down, and then you would never know if it counted until everybody got through. And when you had the 3 lines going, if any one of the 3 lines on that particular drill screwed up, it didn't count for anybody. So you talking about people getting mad at each other? I remember everybody cussing each other.
Oh, yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah. You know, in this tour of duty, I know that all the coaches there, all the position coaches there, and you can imagine these players, you know, they're very competitive. And they're knowing that their position coaches watching them, so they're going all out.
Yeah.
I mean, I can imagine after an hour doing that, I'm sure they're about ready to go take a nap.
And see what those guys, that's their whole job is the strength conditioning.
That's right.
But I tell you what, I liked it the old way. You just became closer with your coaches. It was cool. Did Mickey? I know Mickey did this, but he did make them do the stadium steps too.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I've seen more guys that year. We were 2-9. We lost to BYU out there like 69-21. Alabama destroyed us. Auburn, Pat Dye, East Carolina. Everybody beat us. We were 2-9. Ole Miss, Mississippi State. We lost to everybody. And I don't even remember who we won. I was a freshman. Never been through that stuff about Kim. And I saw those guys, these big linemen, going up them stairs, and they were trying to run people off. They were trying to run you off.
Yeah.
Fall, hit their head. It was brutal. Everybody's throwing up. It was terrible.
Mickey had them out there at 5 in the morning. That was their thing. They'd be at 5 in the morning running the stairs.
Crazy. That's what's so great about college football. Even the guys that didn't get a degree, you go through there and stay 3 or 4 years, the discipline you learn from those guys is incredible. And you learn never to give up. They brainwash you. They think you can do anything.
It's like the Marine Corps.
It really is. It's exactly like the Marine Corps. All right, well, let's talk about some of our great people. Again, I want to thank John and Charlotte for Newbies, the Florida State Update. Appreciate Tommy doing that. Get out to Newbies, have a wonderful time. Max Fist Force Nutrition. Do you want to look better, feel better? Go by and see Jason Kovaleski. Dr. Ward, love Dr. Ward. Bless his heart. He came here yesterday to help me out. 1 in 5 develop skin cancer. If it doesn't look right, feel right, don't play around with it. If you're listening right now in Northwest Florida, there's an office near you. Blue Sky Express Car Wash on Back Beach Road. If you want your beautiful truck, that Tommy's got one of these 250 trucks are incredible. If you want it to look brand new, you go out, kill a deer, get blood in it like Tommy does all the time, take it down to Blue Sky. Tommy, are they not unbelievable?
Yeah, they're great. I mean,
unbelievable. Thank you.
I love them. I really do.
We'll be right back. 104.3. Jeremy Prisman, Alabama. We get back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Greedy. As much of a pain in the neck as he is, and I get that he is, that you hold on to him for dear life for as long as you can, because you will never find another one. In Green Bay, perhaps they are slightly jaded because they went from Favre to Rodgers, and they may think, well, we did this before, we can do it again, no matter how difficult he is. That's my opinion.
Weekday afternoons from 2 till 4. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
In 22, the thing to do is reboot the whole family at That Boot Store. With name brand Western wear for the smallest to the largest Wrangler is available at That Boot Store. Need durable name brand Carhartt work clothes at a price you can afford? Stop by That Boot Store. Next to Billboard Kia on 15th Street. Open Tuesday through Thursday 9 to 5, Friday and Saturday 9 to 5:30. Remember Joe's motto, always keep Jesus in your new year.
Dr. Chad Mitchell, orthopedic surgeon specializing in sports medicine and joint replacement of the knee, shoulder, and hip. He serves our local athletes and our community. Southern Orthopedic Specialist has been the leader in orthopedic care for over 20 years. New patients are welcome. Call 850-769-KNEE to schedule an appointment. More about Dr. Mitchell and Southern Orthopedic Specialist is available on their website, southernorthopedic.com. Southern Orthopedic, getting you back in the game.
This is where history is made. Powered by Pepsi. WGSX Lynn Haven, Panama City. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Have you been to Jin Jin Super King Buffet? It's not your average Jin Jin. Well, here's what you're missing. Jin Jin Super King Buffet has competitive pricing, a great selection, extensive buffet options perfect for family dining. Menu options also include top quality seafood, hibachi and sushi bar, or select their mouth-watering crab legs by order. Bring the family out to Jin Jin Super King Buffet, located next to Wonderworks at 9802 Front Beach Road on Panama City Beach.
Put down your natural light. It's time for the Alabama Update. The Alabama Update, weekday mornings at 8 on the Coach James Hale Show and 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Roll Tide Roll. And again, it's Gene Stallings' birthday. I'll never forget, I went to Tampa. First time I met him, Jeremy, he was speaking. I was sitting in front of the line. It was a Sunday, and most of the people gone back. And he came in and said, I like the people that sit up. You know how he talks. And I said, Coach, my mother loves you. Would you please? He goes, what's her name, son? And he wrote that, Lucille. He wrote her a little note. I mean,
Wow.
he's such a wonderful man. I was thinking, we were talking about that other stuff. Maybe think about that. But anyway, what you got for us today on Alabama Crimson Tide?
It's a busy time of year, a lot going on. Quickly, I'll cover kind of the spring sports here getting underway. Alabama's ladies on the softball field are just doing great, 16-0, and big weekend this weekend. The Longhorns of Texas come in, Miami of Ohio, and Eastern Illinois, and they'll play 5 games at home this weekend, hopefully finishing 21-0 at the end of the week. Alabama men's baseball went out to Texas and dropped 3 games. Texas is number 1 in the nation. They showed well in 2 of the games. I was very pleased with their performance, but the Sticks were silenced. They just did not.
Didn't they just get beat by Tennessee Martin?
And they dropped one of the midweek games. They lost to Tennessee Martin 8-7, but they did bounce back and beat Troy last night 8-1. They've got Murray State coming in this weekend for a 3-game non-conference set. So they're off and running. Basketball team very surprisingly lost to Texas A&M last night.
Can you believe
I
that?
couldn't believe it. They played
looked terrible.
so well against South Carolina.
First half, they looked
Saturday.
great.
Shot the lights out, came out strong first half. I thought, okay, we've got some momentum, and it just utterly collapsed on senior night, home finale. And they dropped the game to the Aggies 87-71. They go to LSU for a tough road game this weekend, and then it's
I think
turning
LSU
time.
just won a big game, too.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this, Jeremy. And I thought of this, and I could be completely wrong, but do you think something might have happened I mean, it was senior night. Everything's going good. Did something happen at halftime? Did he go off? I mean, I'm just trying to make excuses or whatever. It's just weird. Maybe something happened at halftime. We have no idea. I don't know.
I don't know. I think the whole season for this team was summed up in that ball game.
Yeah.
Because this team has wins over some of the best programs in the nation and losses to some of the worst. And it was all on display. For one half, they could have beaten anybody in the country, and another half just acted like they didn't know what a basketball was. And that's going to make it real hard to know how Alabama's going to do in the tournament. They're still projected as a 5 seed, 6 seed, probably closer to a 6 after that loss because nobody had lost to A&M, and they need the win. Probably need a couple of wins in the tourney, but they should show well and could make a run. If they put it all together at the right time. So we will see. But tough loss last night. I want to talk a little bit about Alabama football. The combines are going on, and Williams and Mechie both were asked if things might have been different in the national championship game had not been the injuries. And Williams, ironically, there in the Indiana Convention Center, not far from where he blew his ACL out, believed that Alabama likely would have won the ball game had he not gotten hurt. And
amen.
I think that was the case as well. Mechie seemed to acknowledge as much. Of course, he had blown his ACL out against Georgia in Atlanta on the artificial turf. And you take those two weapons out, and that certainly had an impact on the ball game. They asked Mechie, said, who is the best corner that you faced in college? Who was the best cornerback that you faced in college football? Any guesses as to who he would have said?
Maybe somebody at Georgia. I don't know.
Well, I thought about it as well, and I couldn't come up with anybody. Turns out he said it was Patrick Surtain.
Oh, yeah, okay. At practice, yeah.
At practice.
Wow.
The SEC Defensive Player of the Year.
I was thinking maybe LSU. I don't know. LSU's got some good DBs.
Yeah, his own teammates. And Saban mentioned that Alabama's practice preparation for the NFL is as good as anything else. He said Marlon Humphrey will say if you play corner, and he was the first corner taken in the draft. He said, I had to cover Amari Cooper every day.
Golly,
He said, Amari Cooper, first receiver taken in the draft. Cam Robinson played left tackle. Jonathan Allen played for Washington and won the Nagurski Award. Said all those guys were against each other every day for 3 years. And said those guys will tell you that they made them better, and the guy that he practiced against was better than the guy he played against.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
so,
that's true.
Yeah, and that was Mechie's take on it. Was
and that's their sell in recruiting too.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to come here, you're going to face competition.
You'll face competition, and you will be ready. So we'll see how they do. Their losses to the NFL certainly create some areas of concern for this ball team. There's a lot of optimism about this upcoming Alabama team because many of them do come back, but wide receiver is one of those holes, and we've got a Heisman quarterback who needs to be able to get the ball to some good receivers, and that's where Jermaine Burton, coming in as the transfer from Georgia, will be expected to pick up some of the slack. Hate to lose a Slade Bolden, and Bolden's talked about his desire to go on now and try to test the waters, and I think he'll find somebody that's looking for a good possession receiver in the way the NFL game is different, but to lose Bolden, Mechie, and Williams.
They're wiped out receivers.
They're wiped out at receiver. There's going to be opportunities for people to step up, and Saban's already pushed him a little bit with how they didn't do it in the national championship game. So he's working there. And then at running back as well, you've got a slew of backs: Trey Sanders, Jace McClellan, Roydell, Cameron Wheaton. All of them are back there with chances to get carries, but who's going to emerge in the spring as the one back? And that's a big question mark right now. I hope Sanders can show better. He runs more like elusive sort of back there.
If he can stay healthy.
If he stays healthy. But we've had a couple power backs in the past, and so we'll see how that takes shape. And
Jeremy, just think of the injuries Alabama had this past year in skill position, the receivers. Remember the running backs that went down early in the years? And they had some good young running backs that went down. Yeah. So you got to stay healthy when a championship. The injuries beat Bama more than the opponents did, I think.
Yeah, and I want to kind of close on a little more of Alabama history note. It probably went unnoticed in a lot of circles, but for those that have followed Alabama football a long time, the name Kent Waldrop will be one that comes to mind. He was paralyzed in a game. Texas Christian was playing Alabama in Birmingham in 1974, and he was paralyzed from the waist down. By all accounts, Bryant was just despondent over the injury. He would go to the hospital there in Birmingham. He would just cry outside the room. And Waldrop himself said that anytime Bryant came in the room, he never shed a tear. Boy, you're gonna get up. You work hard. He pushed him. He stayed in contact with him across the years, and Waldrop became one of the Alabama family to the point that the Bryant Scholarship, which has been established for the children of players at Alabama, was awarded to Waldrop's own children. And Mal Moore made good on those wishes in 2005. We were talking about Mal Moore during the break. Alabama was out in the Cotton Bowl playing in 2005, and Moore met with Waldrop and told him that his children's education would be paid for at Alabama, and it became the first two children to receive the Bryant Scholarship that were not players at the University of Alabama. And Waldrop himself said, we didn't know how we were going to pay for Trey's college, and said at the end of the Cotton Bowl practice, Mal Moore came over, and he said Moore told him, he said, Coach Bryant told me to take care of your kids if you were lucky enough to have a family, because he wanted them to come to Alabama.
Wow.
And, you just see how it goes beyond the game.
Yeah. Bear Bryant was unbelievable.
And that's just one of those sort of stories around Bryant that shows that, his depth of his compassion, obviously tough as nails, but Waldrop passed away at 67 years of age. But certainly
it was Monday, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Monday?
yeah. This just kind of that part of the story of how just a freak injury on a Saturday afternoon in
They took his legs out from under him, and he hit just perfect on that hard turf in Birmingham.
Artificial turf.
Broke his neck. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me. I'm gonna go back to Coach Bryant.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think what made him such a great man, he came from nothing, poor. I mean, they were extremely poor, and he talked about that. Never forgot that. It was laughed at, made fun of, and but he's like an American dream, like Elvis. They come out of nothing and they become these big superstars. But I never known a coach more loved than he was.
Yeah.
And not only in the South, I think people around the country loved him.
Right.
They said he'd go play Washington. All those people would be out there trying just to look at him. Penn State, after the game they played up there, they were lined up under the walkway at the stadium, and he walked through, and they all clapping for him after he beat him to beat the record or tie a record or something.
Yeah, against them for 315. Yeah.
Am I wrong? I mean,
that's
Bobby
right,
Bowden's probably there too.
Yeah.
People love Bobby, but Bear Bryant, man, he was something special.
Well, that's all that's going on in Tuscaloosa. A lot of good things with the spring. We'll see how the basketball's doing. And shout out to the lady basketball team. They did beat Auburn. I don't know how much further they're going in the tournament, but they did get the Iron Bowl of women's basketball. So.
That's the only Iron Bowl win we got in basketball this year from the girls. I do want to bring this in. Thank you, Coach Hudson, for this. Thank you so much, because we didn't get into this today.
Oh, yeah, they're playing Arnold tonight.
They got a huge game at 6:30 tonight at Arnold. So we need to go out. If you live on Panama City, you live here in Bay County, you want to see two really good baseball teams, go watch Arnold. Like Coach said, they've improved a lot. That's going to be a great game. I can't look forward to that one. 6:30 at Arnold. Also, Tommy, Paparazzi Gourmet Deli. If you ever had a better pizza, I saw you and Louise. You should have seen him chop down that pizza. Glenn Manley says, "Can I get a piece?" Remember that?
Yeah, I don't eat pizza anymore. It's bad.
I wonder why.
He was telling me about that cauliflower crust.
Yeah,
I love that cauliflower crust.
I tell you what, though, Paparazzi is incredible. We had a great time that time. It was
I couldn't keep you away from those desserts.
Who else was it? Vandergrift was there?
Yeah. And Glenn.
Glenn, was it Glenn? Oh, yeah, Glenn took all the phone.
Yeah, took all the
The
pizza.
guy goes, "Yeah, y'all take all you want." Glenn had the whole truck backed up. We didn't get anything. Anyway, get out to Paparazzi Gourmet Deli. John does such a wonderful job there. You'll absolutely love it. Also, don't forget about Buffalo Rock, our great friends down there. They do an incredible job. And, of course, Stevenson Air Conditioning. Nobody runs a better business than Stevenson Air Conditioning. And if you're looking for a job, they were hiring. I'm telling you, if you want to work for a great man, a great company, call Stevenson Air Conditioning. Go by and see them. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Good Thursday morning. I'm forecasting a nice day today with temperatures in the low 70s, mostly sunny skies, light southwest winds. Water temperature in the Gulf of Mexico is 66 degrees. Mostly clear overnight, about 45 to 50 for the air temperature. Friday, mostly sunny in the mid to upper 70s. This weather forecast has been brought to you by Mid-South Lumber, best little lumber yard in Panama City and Youngstown. For 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, I'm meteorologist Tim Root.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
The afternoon underdogs.
You should have called. I was very worried.
He's got a wife,
Are we there yet?
a family, a dog, and many other responsibilities. But for 2 hours a day, he shreds that baggage for what he really loves.
Sports.
Boston Tim is part of the afternoon underdogs.
Weekdays 4 to 6. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Ben and Deb Collins, owners of Bay Guns and Gear, have been in business since 2010, offering new firearms and accessories with a huge selection available for your hunting needs and personal defense. Turn to Bay Guns and Gear. They have the weapon for you. Discount pricing. And if you can't find what you're looking for, they'll special order it for you. Bay Guns and Gear, across from Grease Pro at 3115 Highway 77. Visit their website, baygunsandgear.com.
Los Rancheros has been doing it right for 20 years. Los Rancheros brings a top-shelf dining experience to you with the opening of their beautiful new building. Watch all college and pro games on Los Rancheros' 14 large-screen TVs with great drink specials daily from 2 to 5 and during all the games. Los Rancheros, the place for live sports and great food on 23rd Street between Jenks and Harrison. Tiger fans, join us weekday mornings at 8:15. It's the Bay Point Golf Auburn Update on the Coach James Hale Show at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
War Eagle. Hey, Auburn Tigers, man. Last night, Ryan Mogan and I were texting each other, and we were like, what is this crap? But they do it. They get it done. I thought it was over. I thought they were done. I thought they were buried. I thought they were over, but they didn't. They come back on the road in overtime. They look like the Auburn team we're used to watching in overtime. Auburn gets a big win on the road. Auburn 81, Mississippi State 68 in overtime. I'm telling you, Jerry, I don't know if you watched any of it. I was watching. I said, what is wrong with them? It's like they go through a period where they can't score. They just didn't look very good on defense. Their big man made a big play on the big Auburn guy and made a little move, scored. I said, we're going to get beat. Auburn's going to get beat. And sure enough, it looked like it was going to happen, but Auburn had the ball. Somehow they got a steal. They get the ball. They shoot 3-point at the end. And I thought they rushed it. They had plenty of time. I thought they rushed it. It was a long one. They didn't get it. It goes into overtime. And Ryan and I are texting each other, and I'm going, they're going to get beat. And then, boom, man, they look like the old Auburn team at the beginning of the year. They blew them out in overtime, and they get a big win. Now, Auburn, SEC champs regular season. I don't think anybody can catch them now. Auburn's 14-3, 26-4 overall. At home, 15-0, and now on the road, they're 8-3. Good job by Auburn. Huge win. Now, this Saturday, they got South Carolina. They'll tip off at 12 at home. You can listen to it here on 104.3. Andy Bertram does an incredible job. South Carolina is 9-8, 18-11. But I'll be honest with you, Jeremy, when you play SEC basketball, I don't care. Any given night, they can beat each other.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, there's still parity and balance across the league, and you get late into a year, bodies get worn, you get tired, you've been traveling, you've been at this for 4 months, and if you are the top team, you are going to get somebody's best shot.
Does Auburn get a 1 seed?
I don't know. Everybody lost over the weekend, so it kind of, any advantage was kind of washed out with that weird 1 through 6 and the AP all getting beat on the same day. So I think everybody kind of got a mulligan.
I keep telling everybody, still watch out for Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And really, you look at Arkansas, you look at Tennessee, heck, even LSU. You never know, man, who gets hot down in Tampa.
At the right time.
Yeah. Maybe, like you said, maybe Bama puts it together in Tampa. I don't know.
The ability's there. Whether or not they do it remains.
Who's Bama got Saturday? Is it Kentucky?
Saturday?
Yeah.
This Saturday, LSU.
Oh, that's right. At LSU. That's right. LSU, I think, just got a big win last night.
Yep.
I think they did. All right, let me get some more stuff about Auburn. They have announced, Coach Harsin came out and said, this is round 2 for Coach Harsin at spring football. And I say round 2 because it's like a fight. He's fighting for himself. He's fighting for his job. It seems like every day. No, I take that back. Everybody's on board now. I think he's going to be fine. Let's hope he is. Let's hope he has a great year next year. 8A game has been announced April 9th. Kickoff time will be 1 o'clock Central Time. And, Jeremy, they do this at a lot of schools now. They want this to be a big deal when everybody come to campus. They're going to also have a really good baseball game. And they timed it perfectly. They did this on purpose. And Alabama does sort of the same things. At 1 o'clock is the kickoff to the 8A game. You can stay and go over to the baseball field and watch a great game. Auburn is going to host Vandy, and Vandy's going to be good. They're always good in baseball.
Andrew Jones' son playing on the Vanderbilt team. Remember
yes, sir.
Him from the Braves?
Yes, sir. He is. Vandy's always good. Their record's not real. They play a little bit tougher schedule. They haven't had a cakewalk so far, but I think Vandy's going to be outstanding. But that game will be at 4 o'clock Central Time, so you can watch the football game. As soon as that's over, everybody can stay, go over and support Auburn baseball, make it a big day on campus there, and have a wonderful time. Who's going to be Auburn's starting quarterback? Who knows? Will it be the guy from Texas A&M?
I forgot his name. Will it be him? How's that? That's the reason I didn't say it. I couldn't remember. He beat Bama, so he's pretty good. And they got a guy from Oregon, but Finley, he's going to work his tail off. Quezada, that's who it was, Quezada. So we'll see who the quarterback. That's the main thing they got to find out. Go through spring. Hey, I went back. They got all this stuff with NFL going on. The draft's coming up. So I did a little research. I want to know who had the fastest time in the shuttle, who had the fastest time in the 40 at the NFL Combine from Auburn. Do you have any idea? Let's start with a 40. Who do you think had the fastest time? Official. Now, that's the key word, official, at the NFL deal. Not on campus, at Auburn. Who had the fastest 40 time? Anybody got an idea?
I got no clue.
Quarterback. Who?
Quarterback.
No. Everybody would say, I thought y'all would both say Bo Jackson. Bo Jackson did it on campus.
Are you talking about the fastest time ever?
Yeah. For Auburn going, but the question was at the NFL Combine. Yeah.
Wasn't it like 4.2 something?
Yeah, but they didn't even count. That was back at Auburn when Bo did that. So,
Gotcha. Yeah.
I don't know. Who knows what? That's pretty doggone fast now. I want to see that with my own eyes. But anyway, for sure the fastest time was cornerback Jamal Dean. He ran a 4.340 back in 2019. He won some Super Bowl. He won the Super Bowl for Tampa Bay Buccaneers also. That is absolutely flying. He did. He was a good football player, but I didn't realize he was that fast. The other one was wide receiver Tim Carter from Auburn. He ran a 4.32, and that was 2002. A second-round pick. He played 7 seasons in the NFL. Now, the shuttle run shows your agility. I think this is one to really measure a good athlete's a shuttle run. Carlos Rogers, that's a great defensive back from Auburn. He ran this is incredible, guys. He ran a 3.82 in 2005. He was the 9th overall pick in the NFL draft. He started in 123 games, 10 seasons with the 49ers. Pro Bowler in 2011. A great football player. And that shows you right there, Jeremy. If you can run something like that, that's Santa Mont speed right there. That's like Santa Mont. The other player that did a great job, remember the second best ever for Auburn was wide receiver Tim Carter. He ran a 3.93, and this was in 2002. He played 7 seasons in the NFL. So you can look at the 40 time, that's important, but look at this shuttle run and see who does extremely well there. Those guys are really first, second round draft picks. Now, I also looked at the bench press. How did they do in the bench press? Remember Carl Lawson, the big defense lineman? He's number 1. Actually, it was a tie for number 1. In 2017, he did 225 pounds. He repped it 35 times. 35 times. That's crazy. That's crazy strength.
Was he a defensive end?
Yeah. He
didn't he play in the FSU national championship game? Was he a freshman?
You know what? I think he did.
I think I saw him. I think he ran a tackle.
Because he ran this in 2017. I think he was there. Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Auburn was really good. 4th round pick of the Bengals. And then the guy that tied him was Brandon Smith. He did the same thing in 2008. He repped at 30. He was the 2nd round pick of the Colts. Gabe Wright did 34 times in 2015. He was the 4th round pick of the Lions. So this is some of the things Auburn players have done in the NFL. I'm going to try to look up some Bama guys in the Alabama update maybe tomorrow or the next day what they did and some of these things. But that's some incredible stats right there. What these guys did is incredible. All right, my question to both of you guys, I do want to give a shout out to the Southern Mississippi Golden Eagles. Southern Mississippi Golden Eagles beat Bryan's Mississippi State Bulldogs in baseball. And I think the game was played in Hattiesburg. It might have been played in Starkville. I'm not sure. But Southern Mississippi got a big win. They got a really good baseball program at Southern Mississippi. Softball, Southern Mississippi softball beat the Florida Gators in softball. So that's the big thing.
That is good.
That's Sun Belt beating up on the SEC. Unbelievable. All right, my question to you guys, if I can find this piece of paper, both of you guys, do you guys like this or dislike this? They're going to change it. Remember, now in college football, you get a first down, they stop the clock, they set the ball, they restart the clock. That gives the team to get up there. If you're behind, you got time to get on the ball, to spike it, or run the next play. They're going to stop it. They want to speed up the game because they're worried about injuries. Now, they're adding all kind of games to the schedule, but they're worried about injuries. Out of bounds. If a receiver goes out of bounds, a running back goes out of bounds, they stop the clock. And then you had time to huddle, get your personnel on and off the field. Not anymore. No. Not anymore. They're going to set the ball, start the clock. So now you go out of bounds, you better find the official. You better run the line of scrimmage, either spike it or get a play called and get it off. You're not going to be able to change personnel. So this is going to change football. This is going to change it. It's going to change the game. Do y'all like it? If you got a good offensive football team, I kind of like to watch them play. I love college so much. I'm against this because I love watching them guys play. But it will speed the game up. You're going to see less plays in college football.
Well, you're going to see less plays. You do have 15 games now, but there's something that's lost, I think, in the timing, the strategy, and I also think that the development of the players is such that their execution is not as crisp as it is in the pros. You watch a pro game, and it's almost clinical. They've done this so much, and they know how to work the clock, the 2-minute warning, all of those things that you don't see in college. How many mental lapses have we seen on clock errors with the current timing? And games kind of given away. So I don't like it.
I don't like it either. I mean, when they start the season, you're going to see some mess ups big time because they forget about it. I mean, they've done it the other way forever. I don't like it.
If you want, and the reason being to speed up the game and less danger for the players. Well, if you're going to do that, it's going to play 11 regular season games instead of 12.
Well, how's he going to? He's not going to speed the game up that much. Maybe a seconds or so, but I don't like that at all.
Not at all. I love college football. Let's don't mess it up. Let's keep it like this. Brian, thank you for the text. That was a donation to charity. Mississippi State listened to us. Mississippi. Thank you. I appreciate that. Instead of saying congratulations, that was nice. That was pretty good. How much we got to go? Let's talk about some of our great people. We got so many great sponsors. Appreciate all of them. J. Michael's Restaurant, Thomas Drive. Hey, tomorrow the Chris Fish is a special. The best seafood, coldest beer. Go try them out. You're going to go to closing. Make sure you demand Chuck Tucker's. Your money, you don't want any surprises when you go to closing. South Oak, title and closing. Go see Chuck Tucker. The guy's incredible. Also, Stevenson Air Conditioning. Dr. Chad Mitchell. I love Bay Point Golf. I love Bay Point. Tonight, they've got a special food going on tonight from 5 to 7. Also, don't forget about Rudy's Barbecue on Bat Beach Road. Ethan Boyd does an incredible job. He'll be here Tuesday. And we'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. What's going on with LSU?
ESPN Northwest Florida, the Paul Feinbaum Show.
A working group came up with a plan for a 12-team playoff. Most everyone signed off on it. We'll figure it out. And the possibility of it starting in 2 years was very real. And then this happened. The SEC took refugees from the Big 12, Oklahoma and Texas. The whole thing literally came apart, and we are sitting here today without a college football playoff expansion. The next possibility of it is 2026.
Weekday evenings, 6 to 10, ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hi, I'm Tracy, your diamond girl at Tracy's Fine Jewelry. Shopping for the perfect diamond can be difficult, but that's why I've trained my staff to be helpful and to offer you a stress-free diamond experience. Pick your sparkle and use our easy layaway plan. Every woman deserves an exquisite diamond from your diamond girl at Tracy's Fine Jewelry. We don't work on commissions.
We work for smiles and I-dos.
So if you're tired of high-pressure salespeople, stop by and see us today at Tracy's Fine Jewelry.
For the best donuts in the area, the locals will tell you, Dandy Donuts and Deli. The donuts are amazing, but the breakfast and lunch choices are super. Cheese grits for breakfast are a tradition at Dandy Donuts and Deli. Try the spicy chicken for lunch. So, for classic donuts, biscuits, burgers, and the best apple fritters in the area, it's Dandy Donuts and Deli. Same location since 1985. 1147 Harrison Avenue, across from Bay High School.
Bestway Portable Buildings has been in the Panama City area since 1989. They've been here longer than anyone else. The reasons? High quality, reasonable prices, and tremendous service. Stop by and see owner Jason Mulder and let him and his staff help you pick out the perfect building for your home or business. Just down from Harts Marine on North Highway 231. Online at bestwayportablebuildings.com. Member of the BBB. Bestway Portable Buildings. The best in portable, period.
Now,
It's the Coach James Hale Show.
Go nuts.
Live from the J. Michael Studio at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
We're not live on it. All right, we're back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. I hope you guys did not hear any of that I was talking about. Hey, Jeremy, Tommy, y'all help me out. Let's talk just for a second about LSU. We all know they were 6-7 in 2021. 2020, they're 5-5 after coming off maybe the greatest football team in college football history in 2019. They got a new head football coach, Brian Kelly. He begins to rebuild, starts for spring football. I looked at an article, and this is what they felt like, and I kind of agree with this. Leadership at LSU. It seems like there wasn't a whole lot of leadership. I knew when they brought in Bo Pelini at LSU, I didn't think that was a good hire. Knowing his personality, the day's kids, I didn't think it would work. And it seems like from then on, it kind of went in the wrong direction. They've got to develop some leadership on the team. Some of these guys, you might have a few guys left over from that 2019 team, but there's a lot of pride at LSU. People love that university. They love that state. They got to get it right. Is he the right guy to get it going at LSU? Brian Kelly, do you like the hire?
LSU plays on a national level. I will say that. They're one of these programs that they can recruit nationally. You're bringing kids into Baton Rouge, New Orleans, and he's got that name about him. He's been successful. Culturally, some may say it's not a fit, but you can't question his ability to do the X's and O's, and took Notre Dame, who has been limited in terms of their academics, to still be competitive and play for BCS titles and get in the playoff. And there's a knock that they haven't been able to deliver, but a lot of the kids that come to Notre Dame have to also qualify academically to get into Notre Dame and then be able to play football, and to maybe not have those standards quite as high at LSU. I think may breed for be a breeding ground for some success for him.
I think it's a good hire. Some people say that he doesn't fit at LSU. I think the guy's won wherever he's been. They give him time. I think he'll get it done. Tommy, what's your opinion on him going to LSU?
First of all, he needs to learn how to talk Cajun first. Being in Louisiana, but I don't know. I think the key to him is going to be recruiting, as it is to most of your.
And they've done a good job of that.
Yeah, they have, and I've not checked on his staff, who he's got around you, but I'm sure he's got good staff members. So I think that's the key for him, is to stay in good with the boosters and do your best recruiting. I mean, and they get most of the kids from Louisiana. They get a lot of the good players.
And that's all you're going to need, really. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah. So
they go into Texas too, Houston area, get some players. But leadership, Tommy, Jeremy, y'all all know that. They don't have good leadership on the team, they're not going to be very, very good. Discipline, it's all going to come down. Can he create a discipline program? And I think he's putting that in there. The winter workouts have been going pretty good from what I'm hearing. So if they have the discipline, they have leadership. Because if you don't have any leadership, you're not going to have a team.
That's right.
And that's the number one thing I think they have to develop in the spring. And you develop that in the winter workouts. So I think they can get that done. Without that, no team. And another thing they're going to have in 2022 is a good pass rush if they want to be pretty good. Jeremy, I watched them before the Alabama game. They were very basic on defense. They didn't turn those guys loose. They didn't blitz a lot. So what did he do? I don't know if Coach O had that planned out, but what a great game plan he had against Bama. I was at the game. I think you were at the game too.
No, I didn't make it, but he sure stymied Alabama that night.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
They came in that bear look. They came, they blitzed, they turned those athletes loose. They got big, fast kids at LSU. He turned them loose, and they almost upset Alabama. Alabama had the better personnel. They went to Tuscaloosa and did a really good job, and it's on the defense. So I think, Tommy, with the new coach there, the new defense coordinator, Matt House, I believe that's his name, he needs to turn these guys loose week one. They need to be aggressive on the defense side of the ball week one the entire year. Don't sit back in a base defense. Let those athletes run, blitz a lot, play man coverage, get after people. I think they do that. I think with the players and athletes they have at LSU, that's going to make them be more successful.
I think in week one, they need to turn them loose and let them go. and then experiment with the other where you stay back in week 2 and you stay back in base and don't rush.
And who they play week 2?
I think FSU.
Yeah. You know what? It might be LSU's first game. I think Florida State's got a game week 0.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not sure about LSU. I need to go. Now, to have a great team, to have a chance to win ball games, we just talked about the pass rush. The pass rush does what? It destroys the timing with the quarterback, the receivers, the running back handoffs, and you create turnovers. LSU in the past, when they had really good football teams, they had a lot of turnovers. They didn't have that in 2021. They were last in the SEC in turnovers. That's the reason they weren't that good. You've got to get the ball, get more possessions of your opponent. They've got to create turnovers. They want to have a good team next year. They did a pretty good job stopping the run. They came in 7th in the SEC, but I'm used to LSU always being a top 3 in all the categories. So they got to get better on the defense side of the ball, stop the rush, get after people. The keys to turnovers is 3rd and long. Get them behind the sticks, make them make up yards, make them make mistakes.
Press.
Yeah, press them, get after them. That creates turnovers. They got to do that. They want to have a good ball club next year. And Jeremy, LSU's always been physical. It starts up front on both sides of the ball. They got to establish a running game. You realize last year they were second to last in the SEC in rushing offense.
Wow.
We're talking about a team 2 years out of winning a national championship. What do you think about LSU? You put LSU, I think about big physical people. Look at the running backs they put in the NFL. Look at the receivers, the quarterbacks. I was kind of dumbfounded by everything that's going on. I think it all goes back to lack of discipline, all the trouble they had off the field. Hopefully they'll get all this stuff right. But they got to find out during the spring who the running backs are, running back by committee, whatever. But I think they got to establish a running game if they want to get back to the top. And again, it starts with the offensive line. They had a lot of injuries in 2021. So they played a lot of people. They should be able to form a pretty good group this year, a solid group of players, because they played so many last year. But, Jeremy, I asked you off the air, and you told me this. I was asking you, what do you think of the LSU Fighting Tigers? Will they struggle year one, or will it be – what do you think the win total will be?
Well, you just take a quick look at the schedule. FSU week 1, and they do not have a week 0 game. So Florida State will have one under their belt when they play.
Which is good.
So, maybe you give the nod to Florida State there, but the game's in New Orleans. It'll be a rowdy crowd. Southern the following week, that's a win. Mississippi State at home the next week, probably a win. New Mexico, win. Go to Auburn, win. Tennessee, in Baton Rouge, I've got the Tigers. At Florida, we'll take the Gators. Ole Miss, we'll take Lane Kiffin.
Yeah.
Alabama, take Alabama. Arkansas, toss up. UAB, another win. Texas A&M, 7-5, 8-4.
Mm-hmm. Or 8-5, get a bowl win.
Yeah.
So if they get 7 to 8 wins year one, everybody should be okay.
They should be. Yeah, they really should. They won't be, but they should be.
Yeah, you're right. They won't be. What do you guys think about this? And we kept talking about. Now I kept talking about the SEC went too quick. I think the Big Ten's being a lot smarter than we are. Amazon's getting into NFL, okay, and they got more money than anybody. They can pay whatever they want to pay. Hurt Street, he's rumored to be. Amazon's targeting him to come in and do Thursday night football, NFL football. He's making $6 million a year right now at ESPN. I love the guy. I don't care if he's Ohio State or whatever. I love him. I love his personality. He's a good-looking guy. He's upbeat. He's positive. I enjoy listening to him. You like him. Jeremy, same thing? Yep. You like him?
Yeah.
What do you think? I mean, if you're him, do you leave you think about College Game Day, who do you think about? You think about him and Lee.
Mm-hmm.
Does he leave there and take big money? You know it's going to be big money to leave. Would you do it? Would you go do NFL? Or I don't think they're big right now. I don't think ESPN is going to let him go do Amazon on Thursday night and work for them the rest of the time. I don't think that's going to happen.
I can't see that happening. Also, they had a little cameo appearance on a Monday night game. Fowler and Herb Street did, and if I remember some of that, they didn't really seem to like it a whole lot. They didn't come out and say they didn't like it, but the game was just different. The environment's different, and it is. It's just a different game. College football is a game of the Bergs and the Villes and the small towns, where it is the game in town, and pro football is your major metro areas. And so I think he stays. Doesn't mean they won't make an offer, but
You think he turns down the big bucks and stays? Well, will ESPN come in and bump his pay?
I think he will use it to leverage for better, particularly because Corso's got more behind him than he's got ahead of him, and Fowler's already moved on. You've got Reese Davis there, so Herb Street's really a major part of the brand.
Yeah, I hope he stays. I love the guy. I hope he stays. All right, let me ask you this: Troy Aikman, I believe, has left Fox. Is going to go to Amazon again. Your former coach of the Saints, Sean Payton, he's going to go to Fox and replace Troy Aikman. Fox will probably get paid big money to keep the Big Ten. I think you'll see Amazon. I think you're going to see multiple networks covering the Big Ten. I think we made a terrible mistake in the SEC. I think we should have stayed with ESPN, with CBS, made ESPN pay us also, and then try to get with Amazon, try to get with some of these other networks. I think we went too quick. I don't know what the final figures are going to be, but I think the Big Ten's pretty smart. They're still, our last contract, they were still the highest paid was the Big Ten.
And you've got two things going on here, and I agree with you. Leveraging your product is going to be important, and now it's been basically given over. There's also the conversation about declining attendance swirling around. Fewer and fewer people are going to the games. Well, if you have no afternoon games where people can travel in, go to the game, travel home, and every game starting at 7:30 at night, you're going to see fewer and fewer people wanting to tailgate all day, leave the stadium at 10, fight all that traffic, and travel even 1 or 2 hours. Yeah. So you're reducing that, and you're not going to pay the lodging to stay overnight.
I'm glad you brought that up. That's perfect. 11 o'clock kickoffs. You live down here. You're going to drive 5 hours to Tuscaloosa to watch an 11 o'clock kickoff game. I think 11 o'clock's crazy. I wish remember the old days? It was 1:30 kickoff. Why don't we go to 1:30 and 4:30?
Yeah.
You got to have night. They got to fill the airspace. You could have a night game, but you don't have to have a lot of them.
I made day trips for a 2:30 ball game from here and back same day. But I'm not going to do that for New Mexico State at 6 o'clock.
Right. Or playing them at 11 o'clock in the morning.
Or playing 11 o'clock in the morning, exactly.
Yeah.
So
11 o'clock is the worst time, I think.
Oh, it's awful. Strange things happen when you play the 11 o'clock game, and it's just.
I'd rather play at LSU 11 o'clock in the morning than 7:30 at night.
The FSU spring football game starts at 6 o'clock, 5 our time.
All right, what do you know the day? April 9th?
April 9th.
Yeah. Okay, that's a Saturday.
Okay. Starting at 6 Eastern Standard Time.
And I'm sure they're going to have a baseball game going on and everything.
Well, I don't know. I don't think they do. I tried to look up the schedule and see, but that would probably be a smart thing to do.
Yeah. They'll have. I guarantee they'll have
there'll be some
else.
softball probably going on.
Something.
Sure.
They might even have a concert after. I mean, they do all kinds of stuff to these schools to get people to come to these things. All right, let's talk about some of our other fine people. Buffalo Rock, Johnny Penny. Was anybody better than Johnny Penny?
Johnny Penny is the man.
The legend.
He is.
The legend.
He is such a great guy. And I hadn't seen Johnny in so long. I'd love to see him.
I would too.
I guess he's doing okay.
I pray he is. I love that man. He did so many. I tell you what, we'd asked Buffalo Rock. I don't care what we asked him. They did it. And he knew I loved Dr. Pepper's, and he'd bring over a case of Dr. Pepper's to give him to Julie.
You wouldn't even have to ask him. He'd come in hand.
I think one time he brought some fish or something. I mean, he was a great guy. Well, Beth, Chad, and TJ, they're saying they keep the tradition going, man. They're taking care of the people in the community. Buffalo Rock, I'm telling you guys, don't buy anything else. Don't purchase anything else. Pepsi, Dr. Pepper, they take care of Bay County students. Let's take care of Buffalo Rock. Also, Dr. Chad Mitchell, 22 years on Bay County sidelines. Every Monday, we got him in here doing a show with us. He does an incredible job. If you get injured, go see Chad. Make a call, Southern Orthopedics. He'll take care of you. Ryan Movey, Bay Point Golf. He'll be here tomorrow. Love him. Does an incredible job. Bay Point. You're going to have a golf tournament, Tommy. You better call now. You might be scheduling 2 years out. I mean, they're so packed out. It's crazy. And I tell you what, Ethan Boyd does a great job at Rudy's Barbecue. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Good Thursday morning. I'm forecasting a nice day today with temperatures in the low 70s. Mostly sunny skies, light southwest winds. Water temperature in the Gulf of Mexico is 66 degrees. Mostly clear overnight, about 45 to 50 for the air temperature. Friday, mostly sunny in the mid to upper 70s. This weather forecast has been brought to you by Offord Tire and Service Center in Callaway. For 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, I'm meteorologist Tim Root.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Dan Patrick Show.
Sad day for baseball yesterday. We knew it was coming. I feel bad for the hardcore baseball fan because they do watch 162 games. The casual fan may tune in to see Shohei Ohtani or Mike Trout, Garrett Cole pitch. But opening day, it's a big deal. It's always been a big deal.
Dan Patrick. 9 to 11 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Golf Plus is your premier golf shop on the Gulf Coast. Not a big box or a chain store, but a local store with golf experts to serve you. An amazing array of demo and fitting products, plus a professional repair shop that can handle anything from a basic re-grip to a full set of re-shafts and everything in between. Golf Plus has locations in Dothan and Panama City Beach to serve you. Come see them today for all your golf needs. Located next to Firefly at the shops at Edgewater. Call 850-249-2726.
Barbaritos has been committed to serving farm-fresh food since 2000. Barbaritos food is made with love, straight from the heart. Every morning they begin preparing food from scratch, from chopping fresh tomatoes for sauces to mashing fresh avocados for guacamole. Barbaritos cares about food.
For a limited time between the hours of 6 and 9 p.m., you'll get a free small creamy cheese dip with the purchase of an entree and a drink.
That's Barbaritos on 23rd Street near Hobby Lobby.
Barbaritos. We make it fresh. You make it yours.
His biggest fear about the zombie apocalypse is all the walking. It's the Coach James Hale Show, live from the J. Michael Studio on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. We got to keep the doors locked. We had a Michigan Wolverine walk in here. We're trying to use broomsticks. That Wolverine's trying to bite us and everything else.
Wolverines, they're tough
They're
now.
tough,
You don't
mean,
fool with them.
vicious.
They are.
Except at football. Oh, anyway. Michigan Eddie is in the house with us right now. Michigan Eddie looking mighty fine over there. A true American hero. All these military guys are outstanding. Hey, Florida guys, I mentioned this Jeremy a minute ago. Florida basketball, they were down by 5 with 44 seconds to go. And what did they do? They came back and won. Florida 87, Vandy 78. You think he's going to, if they continue to win, I guess he's going to be okay for another year. Yeah, because they got a lot of heat on him right now.
Yeah, they do. They do. But
would you keep him?
Oh, he's a good coach. I'd probably keep him. I don't know what their record is now, but it's not real good. But it's
not like
schedule.
Not like we're used to at Florida, but you know, it is what it is. They just gave him a contract extension, so I don't think they're going to pull the trigger right now. Maybe a year from now or whatever. Maybe he'll get it back done. But hey, SEC basketball is really good. They're a lot better than what it's been in the past. Kentucky's really good. Arkansas, Tennessee, Alabama's up and down. You never get what they're going to do. LSU's kind of in the same boat. Auburn's outstanding when they play like they're capable of playing. But, Jeremy, does anybody from the SEC really got a chance to win the national championship?
Auburn is your odds-on favorite, just with how well they've dominated. They played well away from home. They played well at home. Of course, your neutral sites the rest of the way. But I think you've got Auburn and possibly Kentucky. Kentucky went out to Kansas and just absolutely drummed them, so we know they can play with the best of the best. Those would be the top two.
Mm-hmm. All right, I keep talking. I got a question for you. I'm trying to find out where it's at. I want to ask both of you guys a question, what your opinion was on this, and what it was, if I can just look at the names of the teams, but who's the greatest college football team in history? To me, it was they were five. Here it is right now. Dang it, I can't find it. It was Miami 2001, LSU 2019, Alabama 2020, Nebraska, I think, with 95, and USC 2004, and Texas 2005. They said those were the greatest college football teams in the history of college football.
which one of those teams, if you picked them, just give me the top three. Who would be your top three in order? 3, 2, 1.
I don't even remember all the ones you just said.
04 USC was absolutely terrifying to watch. I mean, they destroyed Oklahoma in the Orange Bowl for the national champion. That was the year Auburn went undefeated and they were boxed out.
Let me tell you something.
No one wanted any of that ball team.
I wish Auburn would have had an opportunity to play them. You think I'm crazy or not? I think Auburn would play them.
Well, and you know why it didn't happen? Because ironically, in the 2 years before that, USC and Auburn had scheduled a home and home, and USC won both of those ball games.
Oh, yeah.
And so there was this sense that USC was better than Auburn because they had played. Now, that's unfair to Auburn, but, versus having an unusual matchup that we typically did not see, we instead had kind of a taste of what USC at Auburn had been like, because Auburn went out year one to the Coliseum, got drummed. Jim Fife passes away, and they rehearsed touchdown Auburn, and Bramlett's got them ready to go, and USC comes in and shuts them out. And so Oklahoma kind of backdoors in. But it's USC won there. Alabama 2020, that's as good a team that went as unheralded and unnoticed because of the COVID situation.
Yeah. And they played 10 SEC opponents, then Notre Dame and Ohio State.
Yep.
That schedule was brutal.
And then I would put Vince Young and the 05 Texas team that won the Rose Bowl against USC. I mean, because USC was the juggernaut.
All right, wait a minute. Who do you got number 3?
Texas 05.
And who you got number 2?
Alabama 20.
And number 1?
USC 04.
Okay. Tommy, what do you got?
What about Nebraska? Didn't they have that?
The 95, unbelievable football team.
Was that when Tommy Frazier was the quarterback?
They destroyed Florida 68 to something.
Killed them.
Hey, I'm going to tell you what, their 71 team was unbelievable, too.
Mm-hmm. I'd put Nebraska up there in the top, probably number 2.
Okay.
And the Alabama. And what about, is that it includes LSU?
Yeah.
In there? LSU 2019?
2019. Yeah. So that's your top 3?
Yeah.
Who do you have number 1?
Probably LSU.
Okay. All right.
And Alabama second, and Nebraska probably.
Miami 2001. You see how many players went to the NFL?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm looking at the schedule. I'm gonna play mine in that. So I'm gonna go, because I love Mac Brown. I'm gonna go Texas at number 3. Longhorns 2005. That beat that great USC team. At number 2, I don't know. I really am trying to be fair and balanced. I think I'll do a tie. It's hard not to pick LSU number 1. That 2019 team, I saw them in person. You were at that game.
I was at that ball game.
But I'm gonna tell you what.
A healthy Tua.
If he doesn't get hurt,
he whips them.
If he didn't fumble the ball, there, Alabama wins that game.
Yeah.
I really believe that.
That's absolutely right.
So I'm gonna go LSU second, and I'm gonna go Alabama 2020 number 1, and I'd put number 4 would be Southern Cal 2004. That's what I would do.
Yeah, that Matt Leinart team at USC was something special.
Yeah, they were good. But I know you're. I'm glad you pointed all that stuff out. That was a great what you said about, because now I do remember Southern Cal coming in there and beating them at home. And I think you're right. I think people said, we've seen this. They can't compete with them. Oklahoma's. I disagree.
It's just one of those weird quirks. They hadn't played again.
Yeah.
But they had the back-to-back games where they got drummed.
Tommy, of all the Florida State teams, what's the greatest Florida State football team?
2013.
Really? With Jamerson? I don't know.
They were number 1 all the way through the whole season.
I don't know. I saw teams that didn't win it for Florida State. I thought was good.
Miami killed them. Got them out a couple of times.
Yeah, and those teams I thought were as good as that one.
What I would be interested to go back in time and take like those teams and play one of the modern era teams good and see how that would work out.
Yeah,
be very interesting. I wish you could do it.
You
can do it computer wise, but you can't do it on the field.
Do you think the reason I got that in my mind is because you love Bobby Bowden? I love Bobby Bowden, and didn't like the way Jimbo left Florida State. So sometimes I think I'm being prejudiced against that team because it was Jimbo Fisher, not Bobby Bowden. Maybe that's part of it. But you think that was better than Bowden, some of Bowden's teams?
Well, it's hard to. I know they. No, I mean, Coach Bowden, he had some great players. I mean,
what a recruiter, man!
What a recruiter!
How many years they finished in the top 5? 15 straight.
15, yeah.
And if they had a field goal kicker,
or
if we had the playoffs back then, how many national championships would he have won?
Probably about 5.
He'd have been in 15. If he wins half of them,
Well, you see what Coach Spurrier said about him.
Yeah.
He should have won 20.
Well, I mean, really, he had an opportunity. He was right there.
He was, and most of them. But he has some great players.
The best Florida State football team. What?
Gosh, it could have been. There's a lot of them. I mean, you look at all those wide right teams.
Charlie
They all could have
Ward.
won national championships.
Yeah.
I mean, let's not forget those. I mean, how close was Bobby to winning? Not just the ones he won, but.
Hey, Michigan Eddie, you want to talk about that camp real quick? We got about 30 seconds. Let him use. This is our public announcement for today.
I got a couple. Actually, the Arnold football team's having a golf tournament April 23rd at Bay Point. So talk to Ryan Mulvey or Coach Campbell and to support the Beach Arnold High School Marlins, because as you know, there's the Pee Wee.
Coach Campbell's supposed to call me or text me Sunday night. He was going to come on. I just thought of that when you said that.
Yep. So Arnold High School golf tournament Bay Point, 23 April. So we'll talk to Ryan Mulvey at Bay Point or Coach Campbell at Arnold. Also, there's also a quarterback camp coming to hosted by North Bay Haven High School from Quarterback Academy, National Football Academy, hosted by Coach Darren Slack. He was a quarterback, one of the first quarterbacks at University of Central Florida, and that'll be also April 23rd. So if you want more information, contact Coach Hale or myself. And it's for ages 9 and up for aspiring quarterbacks, and that's where little Eddie goes to as well. Found his personal coach.
Miss Gay, we always tease you. We love you. True American.
I was going to put him on cam, but the light was shining off his head.
Next Thursday, Jeremy. Tommy, next Thursday. You got to be here. It's in your contract. All right, got it signed. Can't change your mind.
I don't think I'm going to be here.
104.3 ESPN. We are upset. Out.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida presents the madness of college basketball.